Hello, everybody, and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus West Ham. There are rumours that McFred make a return. We won't panic until that is confirmed. And if it is confirmed, we will not panic anyway, because ultimately it's about the full-time result. Yes, it is. I would be quite surprised by it, to be honest with you. If you could just shift me to towards the team a little bit draughty. I'm a little bit to the right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Team news is not out as of yet, but there are feelings that we could well end up with the McFred starting lineup, which would be very interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. McFred is back, says Ellis. Look, it's a massive game for Manchester United. I feel that we do need to respond, of course, and it is a very important game for United. Also want to talk about some of these Phil Jones quotes. If anybody can actually confirm, I'm not paying the Times for £5 to read an article about Phil Jones, but apparently there is a quote that he said something about flat Pepsi in your room in your boxer shorts in your mum's spare room. And I just fail to believe that Phil Jones has said that. If he has said that, it's his best performance in 2 years because he's been injured. But it does create that interesting thing where you'll get Prats, in my opinion, starting coming out. I mean, I've had it. I've been tagged in stuff. I've seen Rio Ferdinand tagged in stuff. Oh, it's your fault that Phil Jones feels depressed. We're talking about football players from Manchester United here, so we'll just pack up and go home. If you can't criticise a footballer, then what is the bloody point? Do you think Phil Jones is good enough, whether you feel sorry for him or not? Over the last 5 years, do you think Phil Jones is good enough for Manchester United? Yes or no answer. The vast majority will say no. That's what this is about. If you're sad and depressed and everything like that, I feel very sorry for you because mental health is a real issue. But at what point do you start, where do you draw the line? We're not allowed to criticise footballers anymore. We're not allowed to have any banter anymore. We're not allowed to do any of that anymore. You're talking to a guy who 5 years ago woke up at Christmas and a rival Man United fan had said, I wish I was dead to the world. I'm sorry, there are things out there that you just have to deal with and you just have to get on with it. And I've had a lot worse than that. So you know what? If he can get back in a Man United shirt and perform, he will get the praise he deserves. If he leaves, everyone will just always think he wasn't good enough. And that's the bottom line. And you know what? If people don't like that, that's the football world we live in until somebody changes it. And if they change it, I might go and watch rugby. You know, simple as that. Simple as that. Mark, do you feel alive? No. I don't feel that. I do think we've got to win today. I think that's really important. But I also think that it isn't imperative to winning titles. I think we need to win today because we lost on Tuesday. I think we need to win today because we won against them last year. And I think we need to win today because we're Manchester United. So that's what I think about that. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Very much looking forward to this. The game has not started yet. It starts at the timer was just being tested. I think it hasn't started yet. Don't worry about that. United haven't surprised us and started at 12:52. It'll start at 1 o'clock. It'll start at 1 o'clock. I'm hands-free. There's stuff going out in the background. But as you can see, fantastic graphics as per usual. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Kickoff is 2 o'clock, as it says in the bottom right-hand corner. And you can catch me on That's Football. I will be live on That's Football for Chelsea versus Spurs at 4:30. It'll be a quick turnaround. Mark, all time to burst some bubbles, says Connor Shields. Look, I don't want them fairy liquid breath West Ham fans having a go at us. If you know, you know. I want Manchester United to win today, and I think we can win today. They haven't got Antonio up front. I think we can beat them. I really do. I'm very confident. But look, if the team is true that McFred are playing, do I agree with that? No, I don't. It means Pogba's back on the wing and Rashford's coming in soon. So it means Sancho's on the bench. I don't, apart from Ronaldo and Varane, our number one signing can't get in the team against West Ham. I don't really understand that. But I did say this last night. So would I be shocked if McFred start today? No. What happened when we lost to Istanbul last year? He went and picked a team that not many people liked, and he did it a lot, and they ground out results for him. And this thing for me about McFred is, I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it. But ultimately, I don't think we can play good football with those two players. So let's wait and see. What I would say is that the last time those two played together, we smashed Leeds. So but it is Leeds. So look, the proof's always in the pudding. Let's wait and see what happens with the team. Let's wait and see what happens with the performance. I was one of those persons who used to get like quite angry with team news and that, and ultimately it doesn't really serve a purpose, does it? So that's just a test for later. I don't need that for here. Hi, we're normal fans. Hope we win, but I'm not too confident with Ben Rama on knock. Van der Beek has been offered a start in today's game against West Ham, says Royston. I doubt it. Hi, Mark. The Phil Jones interview was with The Times. Quote, I'm super fortunate of my career, unlike keyboard warriors sipping flat Pepsi and tweeting. Look, if Phil Jones has said that, it's, it's fantastic. I've dealt with trolls like that. I've had it in the past where a troll's had a go at me. I've looked at the profile picture and made a comment. Some would say you're fighting fire with fire, and if you get it back, you can't really moan about it. But, ultimately, I can't believe Phil Jones has said it. That's what I can't believe. I can't believe he said that, because to say, I've been through hell, and the abuse I've got is ridiculous. But then to go and give some abuse, I think it's a way of dealing with it. I'm not knocking it, but ultimately, I think some of his comments were interesting. To say that he doesn't care if he's blocking other people off because he'd play with United. He played for United when he was 60% and all this. I don't think. You know what? There's no guilt in me at all. I'm not guilty about saying pink boots. I'm not guilty about saying you're Pratt, you've missed it. I'm not guilty for saying he invented his own offside trap. I'm not guilty for saying he's crap. But I have said over the summer, do I want Phil Jones to go? Well, of course he should go. But I've also said as well, and many people would back me up on this, and I know many people agree with me, I'd be very sad if Phil Jones left Manchester United, because he might be a bit of a joke, but he's our joke, and it's an affectionate joke. And look, if he can't get his head around that, then, so is it better to be spoken about or better not to be spoken about? There's no such thing as bad publicity. Ultimately, he's got to get fit. The joke with Phil Jones is generally that he's injured. The joke with Phil Jones is generally that we gave him a 5-year contract when he'd been injured for the last year before that, and has been injured for the last 2 years after that. There is an element of comedy about Phil Jones's career, and not all of it is himself. Mark, we know Pogba plays better for us in a free role as a left wing mostly. Don't you think we are not getting most out of him by playing him in a pivot? Well, I don't think he will play in the pivot today, Karan, but it benches Sancho. Hi, Mark. What do you think has the biggest bollocks? And who do you think has the biggest bollocks in the Premier League? Says Jack Jones. I think Ollie's got big balls. I think he picks teams that most of the fans wouldn't pick, and almost puts himself on a back foot before a ball's even been kicked sometimes. But Mark, thank you for bringing back the chart show. I was asking you since January. Great show where we explored how our players can improve. Yeah, PA, not from PA. I absolutely love having the chart show back. It was brought back by you, I've got to admit. And I'm loving having it back, because I think a top 10 for Manchester United players each week, it does expose those players that are not performing, even though it's only fan opinion. It does expose those players that are not performing, and that's why we do the player ratings as well. I'm not saying we always get it right. There was a poll on the community tab this week about who's the best partner for Paul Pogba. We had 53,000 votes. That's 53,000 people voting, and Donny van der Beek came out on top. I disagree with that, but I think Matic should be starting today. I'd be disappointed if Matic isn't starting today, but I do think that Matic should start. But I had a feeling that that Lingard was going to start, but I'm obviously going to be wrong with that if McTominay and Fred are starting in the midfield. There is a lot of people saying that McTominay and Fred are starting now, so we're going to find that out in the next moment or two, 3 minutes time, in fact. McTominay is starting alongside Fred. This has been confirmed now. So return of McFred. But you know what? I know that people will be very angry by that. And I think there's a part of me that probably is angry by that. But not really at McTominay and Fred. They're not the... some would say they're not the answer, but you know what? Let me paint a picture here, because I think our fan base is very reactionary. I do. And I think if we win today, I know there are top Reds in our fan base that will go, oh, this is why we need to back Ollie. Everyone said McFred are crap and we've won the game. But the answer to that is, well, we're happy that we've won the game, but we've also watched this pairing for a year and they're not good enough. So if they're good enough today, we're going to have to wait another 6 months to see if they're good enough, if that makes sense, because they've not been good enough. And one game, one sunny day doesn't make a summer. So if they're good today, we've got to go back through the test again. We've got to try them again and again and again and make sure that after 6 months they are good enough. And hopefully they will be. But what disappoints me is not McTominay and not Fred. What disappoints me is that Ollie, again, has totally ignored what people want. We want to play good attacking football, and he's decided, I'm going to take my best attacking midfielder out of the midfield pivot in Pogba. I'm going to put him on the left wing, and I'm going to play McTominay and Fred in there. But the problem with that is, if McTominay and Fred don't move the ball quick enough to Pogba and Greenwood and Ronaldo and Bruno, will we create chances? And that's the thing. It's a very big risk. Do you think there's an element of snobbery among the elite clubs in world football? It's always the same 5 or 6 managers who go from club to club, says Joshua Bowwater. I've never really thought about it, Joshua. I would like to see somebody like a Potter get a chance, to be honest with you. But no. I saw something on YouTube that we haven't been able to sort out the midfield from as far back as Moyes, says Avan Ayanda. And return of McFred to the tune of Return of the Max, says Alligator. Oh, you know what? I just hope we can win today, because I think there's going to be a lot of people who are just not going to be happy with the team news again. And look, you don't win a game off team news. You win a game after 90 minutes. I mean, Moyes has said that Ollie made it clear to him quite early in the window that he wanted to keep him. I know pretty early in the transfer window that he was staying at Manchester United in relation to Jesse Lingard. So that decision about Jesse Lingard was made ridiculously early in the transfer window, according to that. But the Manchester United starting 11 is De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Shaw, Fred, McTominay, Greenwood, Bruno, Pogba, and Ronaldo. So no place for Jadon Sancho. Scott McTominay comes straight back into the team, despite Solskjaer saying in midweek that he hoped to have him back by the end of the month. He's straight back into the team. He plays with Fred. No place for Jadon Sancho. Mason Greenwood comes back in. Bruno, Pogba, Ronaldo as the front four. The interesting thing for me is this not just short-termism? That's the question I would ask. Is this not just short-termism? Because a lot of people are getting very angry in the chat. I sort of understand it. I do. I said last season, if he kept going with McFred, I'd end up being Ollie out. Well, I can't be Ollie out before a bloody ball's been kicked. But if we lose today with this lineup, then there is a big, big reason for me to start wondering about this manager. So I'm praying it's not going to happen. I'm praying we're going to win, because I can't go back on what I said at the end of last season. If he's going to continue with McTominay and Fred in midfield and they're going to not show any sign of improvement, then I can't back this manager long term. So I really hope we're going to see something new today, because what this, to me, screams of is short-termism and no progression, because this is what we did last year, Ollie. This is what you did last year. You just put them in the midfield and ask them to do a job, which is not a creative job. It's a defensive job. And our away record's fantastic, by the way. We've got a brilliant record away from home, but we've got a lot of clean sheets. That, to me, doesn't suggest that that's a team that goes away from home trying to win. That's a team that goes away from home trying to not concede and nick a goal. And we've got the quality to do that. But it's pragmatic football, isn't it? But also it screams of short-termism, because what happens when Rashford's back? What's the long-term plan with Jadon Sancho? Pogba's back on the wing again, and there's no doubt that Pogba's creativity on the wing is absolutely fantastic. But when Rashford's back, what are you going to do with Paul Pogba? You're going to have to put him into the midfield pivot. So why are we not doing that now? Why are we going for short-term fixes in a season where we're trying to win a title? And again, it just feels like to me we've lost the game, and he's bottled it and gone straight back to McTominay and Fred. Now, we can win. We can win this game. We've won plenty of games with McTominay and Fred. Nobody should be under any illusion that we can't win this game today. And I still think we can win this game today. Look at the quality of the players we've got. Varane, Pogba, Bruno, Ronaldo, Greenwood. We can win this game today. But where is the step forward? Over the summer, numerous briefed Manchester United journalists told us about one holding midfielder and a more attacking approach. Are we going to see that today? It might not be McFred. It might be Fred sitting with McTominay playing box to box. That's not McFred. So we might see that. That's a positive. But what I want to see today is that. I want to see a development. I don't want to see McTominay and Fred stood next to each other doing the same job as they did last season, because that's not progression. That's the same plan as next year with a couple of extra players. And also, what's your long-term vision, Ollie? Because Pogba on the wing, the second Rashford's fit, you're going to pick him. Rashford comes back. What are you going to do? Drop Greenwood. So you've got Greenwood and Sancho on the bench. What's the plan? Like, surely Pogba's going to play in the midfield. So why is he not playing in the midfield now? For me, the midfield should have been Matic and it should have been Pogba, but it's not. Return of McFred. You know they will be dead. You lied to me. Ollie playing Fred and McTominay. You lied to me, says Ash G. I think that's the song by Mark Morrison. I'm sorry there is no defending Ollie. You have a plethora of talent, so you can play the same as you did last year. Inexcusable, says Emmanuel. Well, let's wait and see what actually happens in the game. Mark, the only way it seems we might see a different lineup or style of play would be when Rashford's back. Ollie will have to put up an attacking 5, says Venkat. If McFred is the answer, what the hell is the question, says Ali Gator. And also, too many good players for a manager and coaching staff who don't really know what they're doing. If United board have ambition, Ollie has to go, says Sean Turner. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. A lot of passionate opinions coming in as ever. Our best lineup, rather we like it or not, we finally have our best midfield, says YUFC. So there's a positive. The ball won't reach the front four. Rice and Soucek are going to have McFred on toast, says Bradley. Don't think I've gone into a game with any hope this season. Even with Ronaldo on the team, Ollie worries me more and more, says JT. Well, look, I'm going to write a few things down that are important for the match reaction. McFred, obviously, is something to observe. Shots on target, specifically for our striker, which is Ronaldo, is very important. High line, how high is the line as well? They're three things that I'm looking at tactically. How many shots do we create for not Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo today? How Fred and McTominay play? Do they play as McFred, or is there actually an evolution there? And how high is the defensive line? Because to be honest with you, it sort of feels like we might be setting ourselves up to hit teams on the break again with a back six. But let's wait and see. Mark Morrison, return of McFred, says Sean O'Sullivan. United are going to turn West Ham into smoked ham, says Amarillo. I hope so. We depend too much on Bruno, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. That's all I have to say. And the man is a liability. What? Sorry, Mark? Okay. This man, it's not meant to be here till 5:15. This man is a liability to these players. Get Ollie out now. He is clueless, says Dublin Ghost. And I'm not it's 2:15 till 2:45. I'm not at because I've got so many super chats. Cheers, mate. I'm not mad at McFred, by the way. We could play a more progressive midfield, but I thought the song suggestion was very clever. Come on, United, says Ash G. Injury McTominay is better than Donny, I guess, says Manchester G. You know what? I'm actually glad. I'm really glad that it's taken 20 minutes for Donny van de Beek to get a mention. I applaud everybody, and I'm so pleased because I'm fed up of this channel being attached to Donny van de Beek in some weird way that we want him to play as a number 6. For a long time, Donny van de Beek was a player that we felt should have been getting game time. It's finished. It's over. I don't want to talk about it anymore. His career is over at Manchester United. He will start in the Carabao Cup, and even if he scores a hat-trick, he won't play against Villa. He's finished at United. The minute Ollie took him off after a sympathy 45 minutes against Young Boys last Tuesday, it was over. Ollie exposed himself to the world and the entire fan base that he couldn't give a shit about Donny van de Beek at Manchester United. And the fact that he's rushed McTominay back to get Pogba on the wing and play with McTominay and Fred, he ain't interested in Matic. He ain't interested in Van der Beek. He wants to play McTominay and Fred. It's the same as what we saw with Lindelof and Magaluf last year. And until he buys a midfielder, this is what we're going to be putting up with this season. And I just hope it works. I really do. But I'm glad we're not talking about Donny because it's a waste of oxygen to even do it. The team is further up the field now with Varane. McTominay will also be more involved in the attack, I hope, says Odin. Mark, we need a CDM. We don't have one, and McFred is the closest thing we have to one decent CDM. I think this is our strongest lineup, says Mark Friedman. What use of this team even if we win 5-0 when we all know that this team can get titles, but our manager does it again and again? He's irritating me, says Ashik. And looking forward to get to the game today. Don't forget to turn up to our new Ronaldo song, says Cozy Panic. I'm an optimist, but Ollie will not win the Prem with United, but he's the correct manager at this point, but it's not looking good, says Sharath Kamath Fitness. Again, yet again, Ollie sponsored by Manscaped because he's shown balls. It's as simple as that. He is. With that team selection, will he get it right? That's the main thing. Ultimately, I can't knock Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for his stubbornness and his ability to do what he wants to do. But I've said this before. I think a lot of people have said it as well. Have we not got a manager now that almost comes across as a manager that does it on purpose, that refuses to accept what ex-players, very rarely ex-players, to be honest, because most of them are in his fan club. The pundits, the media, the fans say. It almost feels like he does things that not expected. And if you think about the game against Southampton, where everyone was saying pick Varane and Sancho, he'll either pick the same team again from the Leeds game, or he'll pick Varane and Sancho. What does he do? He doesn't pick Varane and Sancho, but he doesn't pick the same team. He makes 2 changes, but he doesn't stick with the winning team, and he doesn't start Varane and Sancho. Today he's picking McFred. He's continually, Fred started every Premier League game this season, and every Premier League game this season, apart from Leeds, he's been, well, no, he didn't start against Newcastle. Sorry, he didn't. He started midweek, didn't he? But he's not played particularly well. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is just a very, very stubborn man. And I think part of his character is proving people wrong, which can be quite a good trait to have, as long as you don't do it in a way that's damaging to yourself. And it feels to me like Solskjaer is a manager that is absolutely obsessed with proving people wrong. Last year, Eric Bailly would play well. Oh, play Bailly and Maguire because the line's higher. Lindelof comes back in. He isn't a manager that's in tune with what the fans want at all. He's in tune with what he wants to do, and he wants to be proven right. And ultimately, if he gets proven right, I just want to see the statue. I want to see the title. I want to have a manager where I go, yeah, he's right. And at the moment, I think the problem is too many fans are like, I don't think he is right. And he's got to prove himself right. So if he's going to pick a team like that today, we better win and we better play well, because I think we all know we could win today, grinding out a 1 or 2. No, if Bruno scores a worldie and Pogba creates a goal for Ronaldo out of nothing, but West Ham dominate the play and people go, if West Ham had Antonio, they'll win that. It's a great win, but it's not answering the critics, is it? We're just grinding out results again. So I think it's going to be a very interesting game. Midfield is often about combinations more than having 2 good players. I think Fred is our best disruptive player and McSauce is his best partner, says Manchild. Well, Ollie obviously agrees with you, mate, on that one. We've read that one. We've read that. Anderson was better than Fred will ever be. Sack our Brazilian scout, says Vin Barra. McFred is back. If anyone else is feeling like me, I urge you to call the Samaritans, says Big Tony. Stephen the Hazard says, Mark, have you seen about Phil Jones? People may not like him, but show respect. Why give abuse in front of his daughter? People need to get hearts, says Stephen the Hazard. I have spoken about that, actually. Midfield is often about company. We've done that from Manchild. Mark, do you remember when Van der Sar sent a letter to Man United about looking after Donny? I always thought that was a bit strange. It's almost as if he knew, says Liam Brown. Biggest mistake of his career coming to Man United, Van der Beek, unfortunately. It's not because of your shirt, but Bruno will do something today. It's annoying that a player has to do so much for the team, says Sharaf Kama Fitness. If McTominay's allowed to play more attacking-minded, I think we have a shot to batter West Ham. There is a player there, if played him right, in my opinion. Remy, I agree with you. I've said this for a while. Apparently, I'm not allowed to be positive about McTominay because I've been quite negative about McTominay. But that's because I've seen most of his career as a number 6. I've always said when McTominay's allowed to attack and go beyond the number 8, he's a better player. Will we see that today? Because I tell you what, I'll be sitting here telling you I told you so. We haven't seen McTominay attack much in his career. Most of the time that Ollie's used him is as a holding midfielder or as a McFred. If he's allowed to attack, that's where he becomes a better player for me. But let's wait and see. I miss Ollie's selection tactics from his first weeks in charge, says God. If Ollie ends this season with no silverware, he will get the sack. Always backed Ollie, but no changes when he's getting the talent to change the issue, says Kenneth. I don't get how he can pick Fred again. He's constantly been in bad form every game and can't be rewarded game time because of it, says Daniel. Fred's a very lucky player, He's a very lucky player, Fred, because he gets chance after chance after chance. I mean, Donny van der Beek must be thinking, Fred, what is it that you're doing with Ollie to get these chances time after time after time? Do you bring an apple in? What is it that you do? Because without a shadow of a doubt, you should get dropped if you're not playing well. And I don't think Fred's played well for Manchester United this season. But he keeps getting a chance. And hopefully that means at some point he's going to become the player that he can become. Because the chart shows back on the United stand. And it's funny, when we were doing it 18 months ago, Fred was in the top 3 a lot. So there is a good player there. Let's hope we can find it, because he's certainly been given the opportunities. Mark, they say Van der Beek was not Ollie's first choice. That's why he doesn't use him. Now Sancho, who is his first choice, is on the bench to play McFred, says Sil Mill. I want to talk about Sancho. I'm going to get Beth on in a minute. Mark, Ollie cannot please everyone. Rashford will be back. Greenwood won't play as much. Neither will Cavani. Ronaldo will not be dropped off. And Jesse won't play either. Let's be honest, we've got too many players. Paolo, we said this before the season even started. You mentioned Jesse Lingard. I was convinced he was going to start today. he doesn't start. So, the bench is Heaton, Bailly, Dalot, Matic, Mata, Lingard, Van der Beek, Sancho, Martial. Sancho's better than Van der Beek, says Fail Army. They're both on the bench. And Ollie starts McFred in difficult away games, and at home he's going to attack with only one CDM, says Avinash. With all the talent United have, imagine if we had a manager that could change tactics during a game. How exciting would that be, says Brian Spence. And also, we lost today. Ollie has to be under pressure. He's got 2 players he bought in for over 100 million sitting on the bench. What's he doing, says Sean Turner. I think we'll win today, As much as I don't want to see that midfield on a weekly basis, it's the right midfield for this type of game. We need to stop Souček and Rice. Did you realise Rice is playing as a holding midfielder? We don't need to stop him. It's just a battle. This is basically Ollie's backup plan every time we lose an important game to grind out results, says Arvind. And I do agree with you on that, Arvind. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the channel. We're live all the way through till full time. We'll have the player ratings in the second half where you can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. My match reaction will go through that. We've also got the fan forum after that. And then at 8, then we've got Levin and Adam are at the game today. So they're going to be doing fan vlogs. And then after that, at 8 o'clock, we've got the tactical breakdown with me. So a very, very busy day. Lots to get involved with on the United stand. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and smash a like and get involved. Just before we get Beth on, I want to say this. Somebody said this is the way to play against a difficult team away from home. All I would say to that, do Liverpool go to West Ham and, bring in a different midfield to sort of make them defensive? Does Pep go to West Ham and say, right, I'm going to play Rodri and Fernandinho and I'm going to drop Gundogan? No, they don't, because they've got a style of play that they believe in. We still do not have a style of play, and that is the problem. If we had a good holding midfielder now, how would you feel about a 4-1-3-2, or is that attacking in your opinion, says Ainsley Harriott official? Imagine if it was Ainsley Harriott. What about the bench today, says Thomas? Yeah, we've just been through the bench. You know what? On a different note, one player that I do find really interesting today is Declan Rice. This is a player that West Ham have put a price on of around £100 million. Now, if Declan Rice is to be the solution for Manchester United or Chelsea, I would expect him to be able to grab hold of this game today. I think a couple of times we've played West Ham and Declan Rice has been very, very quiet. So let's hope he's quiet again. Would Ronaldo have to come to United if Ollie was as crap as some here say? Says, well, he has come to United, Ekberg. I love the new graphic, Mark. Keep it up. And would you give Dalot a chance today? Says Stephen Atkinson. No, I'm happy with the back 5. Very happy with the back 5. Anyway, I think we're going to get Beth on. Is Beth ready? Is she on the screen? Hi, Beth.
Hi, guys. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Are you happy with the team? Oh, lost my earpiece. Shit.
I don't like to slag the team off much before, but I'm not that happy now. I think it's very safe team. Ollie's gone into this game I have to win it. I'm very confused as to why Pogba's on the left, because in my personal opinion, Pogba isn't going to be able to be on the left forever. So if United knew that he was staying and they knew the transfers that they were getting in, I don't understand what the plan is with Pogba. Surely you should be trying to get him into a midfield role at the start of the season and progressing like that, because when Rashford's back, Rashford's going to play on the left. Pogba's not going to be dropped, so he's going to have to play in the midfield. And to me, he's been our best midfielder all season so far. And I thought he played really well in that role against Newcastle. And I just don't get why he's been pushed onto the left again. Sancho's been dropped, which I think is unfair after the way he was treated in the game against Young Boys. Obviously, the first sub, it kind of had to happen, but I would have liked to see Sancho get his confidence back, get a few more minutes today. And personally, for me, I would have liked to see either Pogba or McTominay, if McTominay is fit to be back. He obviously is because he's playing, or Pogba and Matic. I just don't understand how Fred is still hanging on. He's just had poor performance after poor performance. And for me, having him in that midfield at the moment, in the form he's in, because I'm not saying he's a bad player because he has been good before, but at the moment he is terrible and he just doesn't add anything to the team. He gets skinned, he gets ran past, he gets shoved off the ball. So I'm not that happy with the midfield and the way Pogba's been put out onto the left. I also think it's proof today that Ollie does not trust Dalot one bit. Again, it's favouritism coming in. Personally, for me, Dalot's got 3 very important Champions League games that he's going to have to play well for us in. And I would have got him into the team straight away and proved a point to Wan-Bissaka. You can't be doing what you've been doing at the start of the season with how bad his touches have been and how to me personally, I've not rated him the start of this season. I think he's been very sloppy, and I would have put Dalot in to just prove that point and get him used to playing with Varane and Maguire, because he's going to play 3 very important games for us. But again, he's gone with his trusted Wan-Bissaka. He goes with players that he trusts and that he likes and that have done jobs for him before. And I think that's what we're seeing today. It's just safe option. Pogba on the left, safe. McFred back in, safe. It's what he's used to. And I would have liked to see us go a bit more offensive against West Ham today. I mean, they played midweek, later than us. Like, just go and take the game to him. We have a point to prove.
No Antonio, played on Thursday, quite a strong team. We go there, we bring McFred in, and you just fear that we're going to play counter-attacking football, rely on individual brilliance, and try and keep a clean sheet, which actually I think is probably highly likely we keep a clean sheet. When you look at that back four and De Gea, and then you stick McTominay and Fred in front of it, I think we will keep a clean sheet. And I think we will get a moment of brilliance that wins us the game. And then, you know, the toxicity in the fan base will continue, won't it? Because there'll be people saying, well, we saw this last year. We saw this last
100%.
year, but it's still a win. But we did see this last year. At what point are we going to see Ollie stop going into games against teams to try and stop them, and then a moment of brilliance from a bit of individualism? It's not, there's no style of play. I think that's what people are saying.
No, 100%. We don't go and stamp our mark on any team. We just don't do it. And when you're a top team trying to go for a title, that is what you need to do. Do you think City changed their midfield when they go and play against West Ham because they're physical? No, they don't. They go and play the way that they play because it works for them and it's successful. And that's how the team has been drilled to play. And it just doesn't look like we're drilled in any kind of way. And when I saw the signings come in, Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo, I thought, you know what, this year, he's going to change it up. He's going to rotate the squad a bit more. He's going to possibly play Pogba in that role with just one DM, because now we've got Varane, and that's what the talks are flying around. And at the start of the season, I've got to be honest, I've not seen anything different, nothing different. It's the same thing. We play poor football, don't create many chances, but we score because Bruno, to me, is one of the best midfielders in the league. Greenwood's got an amazing finish. I mean, Pogba, we know how technically gifted he is. And then now you've got Ronaldo, who's scored the most goals out of any footballer. He's obviously going to score goals, but all he's relying on these players, he's relying on moments. When I was watching, again, I don't want to compare us to other teams. I was watching Liverpool yesterday. They created quite a few chances, and it's like, I don't see us creating that many chances in a game unless it's counter-attack. And that's just what the problem is. And I mean, West Ham, they're tired from the Europa League. Yes, they've got a physically fit team. They have no target man in Antonio that literally carries them. Our team is 10 times better than theirs. Why can't we go to West Ham, get straight at them and make them work for it? Instead, it's going to be, I already know what it's going to be. It's going to be pragmatic. It's going to be side to side. And it's going to be, let's hope we get a cross into Ronaldo. And that's how we win the game. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I see us go at it and get people in the box straight away. But I'm just not sure. I'm not that confident going into the game. But I do think with that lineup, what Ollie does guarantee is, like you said, quite defensive. I don't think we'll let a goal in. And you can get a chance with that team. We've seen it before, and he's won with that team before after poor performances. So I understand why he's gone for it. A lot of pressure on him, must-win game. But I'd just like him to take a few more risks, to be honest with you.
Ross Baker with the super chat says, people aren't going to like this, but Bruno causes the McFred issue. He's not the defensive grit that Mount has. Ollie needs a solid foundation. I think, listen to what Beth just said there on that. I think that, you know, and look, I find it difficult because obviously the United stand has a lot of people watching, and you've got to take into account many different opinions. But the thing is, I can see things a mile off, and we win this game today. You get a load of people going, oh, fuck everybody who said negative things about McTominay and Fred and Ollie. You don't know bloody anything. And then you'll still get the people who felt the same after the Young Boys result because they felt like that already. And they'll be saying, oh, shut up. It's the same old crap as last year. It's pragmatic. It's vibes. I've got to say, I think what I want a United fan base. And to get that, you've got to win the right way. And at the moment, I don't care which side of the fence you sit on that argument about, well, if we win, everyone else is wrong, or if we win playing badly, they're just letting the standards drop. For me, to get a United fan base, you've got to play the United way, and we don't do that. And I think that's exactly what you're saying there. Do you think if the Young Boy result was different, he'd be playing a more attacking team, says Patrick St. Pierre? Well, you can answer that, Beth, yeah.
I don't. I really don't. I think I've been waiting, and I think with the Ollie in, Ollie out debate, it shouldn't be Ollie in, Ollie out. You wait and you see what the manager is going to do. And I've always said I'm going to back Solskjaer till the end of the season, but I think now it's just how far are people going to go with this football until they get fed up. I mean, I'm getting fed up and I've been backing Ollie from the start. So I just think people keep dropping off because they're getting fed up of seeing the pragmatic, boring football every week with moments of brilliance. I mean, it's great when the moments of brilliance happen, but it is literally just moments. And to answer your question, no, I think Ollie's a stubborn manager. And I think he is quite a pragmatic manager, to be honest. And I still think he's a little bit insecure going into games and making big decisions. And I think if we won against Young Boys, I think you would have seen McFred come back in. I think it would have been the same thing. Possibly might have played Pogba in the midfield with McTominay if we didn't lose against Young Boys. But you never know, because he's been in the paper saying West Ham is such a hard team to beat. They're very physical. Like, yes, West Ham are a good team, but we're better than them. So why are you so scared going into a game against West Ham? Yes, it's away. And to be fair, I think a big factor in it is our away form this year. Like, we have won the games apart from the Southampton one, but we've not really scored any goals. We've not looked like we've been creating a lot of chances. So I think he just wants to make sure that we win on the road, because it's massively important considering how poor we have been away from home at the moment.
Ball, I don't see any difference except the forward players can play how they want. Maybe Carrick and McKenna influenced this since they became first-team coaches under Jose, says Harry Poppins. I give up talking about Donny at this stage. I hate to say it, but I'm not Ollie out. We need our identity back. This safety won't last for long, says Gary Dowdle. Welcome to the Members Club, Ajit, and also Arch285 as well. Thanks very much, everyone who's getting involved, by the way. Thoughts on Sancho? There's a lot of people talking about Sancho, Beth. I mean, £74 million, priority signing. He was the number one signing. He was ahead of Varane. This was the player that Ollie wanted from last summer. He's gone and got him. And no, I'm not surprised he's not starting. My only concern with this is that if, we saw it with Pepe at Arsenal. It's like you pay him roughly the same amount of fee. Well, Pepe started a lot of games and was a bit of a flop, really. That's what people were saying. Sancho's not even starting. It does generate, I see it, I'm ignoring it because I think Sancho's a good player, but it does generate the opportunity for the press and rival fans to start saying, what a waste of money, what a flop, which can add pressure to a player. What do you think about that, Sancho, not playing again today?
I think with the whole Sancho thing, I think it's been massively blown out of proportion. I think he's a good player and I think he's going to come good for us and he's going to become a crucial part of the team. I truly do believe that. I mean, we saw how bad Kai Havertz started at Chelsea last year and he's flourished into a good player for them. So sometimes it does take time, but ultimately, I do actually blame Ollie a little bit for how Sancho was embedded into the team. I thought he shouldn't have benched him at the start. He should have just got him straight in, got him playing with the players, tried to get him a goal early on or even assist, get the confidence up and build him into the team. I think because it was such an anticipated move and then he benched him and then he subbed him off constantly. It's been very stop-start for him. And I think it's hard for any player who's got a lot of pressure on them coming into the Premier League, who they know that this team has wanted them for literally 2 years. And then you stop starting your season when you just want to get going with all the players. So to me, Ollie's a little bit to blame for it. Like you saw Lukaku coming. I know Lukaku's a little bit different kettle of fish. He's a lot more experienced. But if you're paying for a player that much, surely he's part of your vision for the team. So I think he should have thrown him straight in personally at the start of the season when we're messing about with the likes of Dan James. I honestly thought Sancho should have just come in straight away. So I blame Ollie a little bit for that. And I would have started him today as well because he got subbed early. Confidence is down again, getting subbed again, first sub, and then you bench him again. It's not great for a confidence, and he's only young as well. So you've got to remember these young players rely on confidence. I mean, we know he's a very confident player anyway, which I think will help him, but I just think Ollie's handled it a little bit wrong since he's come in. That's my personal opinion. And today, it would not surprise me if Lingard comes on before him, which I think we all know is going to happen because he keeps talking about Lingard and West Ham, everything like that, which to me is wrong. That's a good point, actually, because I actually thought Lingard would have started today. So you're probably right. I think Jesse is the first sub in the manager's mind at the moment, as we keep seeing. Man United, Manu dude says, can't counter-attack against a team that doesn't attack. We can't afford to be more open here, says that. Thanks for the super chat from Naman. Please, for once, trust the manager. If the manager picks, I know you have doubts, but keep the digging at a minimum before result. Be critical after the match, says Sahil. Well, that's a fair comment. You're allowed to have opinions, though, before a game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just think, it's almost... I think those sort of comments are really interesting because it's like he's just given his opinion, telling people not to have an opinion till after the game, but has just given his opinion before the game, which is why everyone has the right to opinion. But what I would say is that it's I've learned not to go too mad about a team selection until the 90th minute, because I've seen Mourinho pick a team and I've gone, what's he doing? And then you go and beat Chelsea. So it can happen. You're right. And I mean, look, Beth, what's your thoughts on the game anyway? We've got the team news now. So you're sort of doing it in a way where, you know what the team is that Ollie's picked. What is your thoughts on the game and what do you think will happen?
I think it's going to be a pragmatic game, very edgy. I don't think we're going to get a lot of chances. At the same time, I don't think West Ham will create a lot of chances. I think it'll be very 50-50 with the possession. And I think it's going to be one of them where when a team gets a chance, they need to score, because I think both Moyes and Ollie are going to go into this a little bit on the back foot, I would say, and the kind of wary. I think Moyes will be wary because of midweek and obviously the threats that we have going forward. I mean, we've got Ronaldo up front. He's going to have to be wary. As you saw in Newcastle, he only took a few chances. But at the same time, I think Ollie doesn't want to give too much away. You can't afford to concede. So I think it's going to be very pragmatic, and I think it's going to be the odd chance, very low scoring game. I mean, I hope I'm wrong, because I want to watch an exciting game and I want to watch us go and stick free past West Ham. But I said before, game 2-1, I'm going to stick by it after seeing the team news. I'm not that mad at the team. I just don't. What my problem is, I don't see the vision with the team going forward. It's very week by week. Like, what is the plan with the midfield? I don't know it. But this game, I think, very physical. And when we get a chance, we've got to score it. And that's what it's going to be. I don't think the defence have that much to do. I think it'll just be the likes of Souček and Rice kind of trying to get into the box. But then they have got some forwards that are quite talented. I mean, I think, is Bowen starting today?
I'm just going to have a look at the West Ham team, yeah, but let's have a look. West Ham. Obviously haven't got Antonio.
Like, we've got to be wary about these players, and I think that is probably why McFred is back in. But this is my problem with McFred, because they both stay so far back, and they both hold. It leaves such a big gap. And to be fair, Bruno does get forward a lot more than a lot of other number 10s in the league do, and that's why he gets so many goals and that's why he gets so many assists. So you're happy with that part of it, but at the same time, it does leave that gap between McFred and Bruno, and Pogba on the left is going to have to come in and cover that, because or else we're not going to get the ball through the midfield, which we've seen consistently. So I think we've got to try and win the midfield battle, which is why he's brought McFred back in. But to me, West Ham have a better midfield than us, and that is saying something. So it'll be hard graft in the midfield.
Midfield. So what score prediction, just very quickly, and then I'll give you the West Ham news.
2-1. I'm going 2-1 to United.
I like it. I do think we'll win. I went 1-1, but I actually think we're going to win. So I'm going to go 3-1 now. Fabianski.
3-1. I hope so. I want to see some goals.
Look, you know what? We beat them last season, and if we're progressing, we've got to beat them, haven't we? So there's no time for negativity. And if there is negativity and we do draw or lose, then I think Ollie's got to face up to that negativity.
Remember last year when we played West Ham, and it was like a game of two halves. It was so stagnant and slow in the first half. And then, to be fair, Ollie did obviously give them a bollocking at half time. And we played very well in the second half. And I think that could be the case again. The way he set up the team could be slow, it could be pragmatic, it could be stagnant. And then you realise, oh, wait, West Ham actually isn't giving us that much to worry about. We'll go for it a bit more. And it's just like, I wish he could do that from the start, but we'll see.
The West Ham team for you is Fabianski, Kufel, Zuma, Agbona, Cresswell. They've got
a good back line, haven't they?
Yeah. And there was talk that he might go to a back five with Antonio, but it doesn't look like he has, because it's Fabianski, Kufel, Zuma, Agbona, Cresswell, who I presume are a back four. Then they've got Rice, Souček, and then they've got Fornals, Benrahma, Vlasic, who's the new signing, and Bowen. So they're definitely playing sort of like the back six with Rice and Souček as the midfielders, and then a front four of Fornals, Benrahma, Vlasic, and Bowen. So, you know, he could have played in a very different way. I mean, no Antonio, but I think you're right. I think when we played them last year, they played very good football in the first half, but they had no cutting edge because they had no Antonio again. So I do think that might be their problem again, but it's certainly West Ham playing to their strengths. Just a few super chats. I thought we bought Varane so we didn't have to play McFred, says Mark Jones. Yeah.
But we all thought.
Yeah, we all thought that. And Clicker Atwood says, I miss watching a United team that was excited and feared by the clubs. We could be with this squad, but Ollie's set in his old ways. Will he learn? And I think, you know what? I mean, look, obviously, still a lot of people talking about McTominay and Fred.
The trending third on Twitter, McFred.
It's a very counter-attacking team, says SWP on paper. The thing is, if I said to you, Beth, in the chat, do you think McTominay and Fred are better than Souček and Rice? What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, isn't it obvious? No, they're not. They're not. Souček and Rice are a great midfield partnership. I rate Souček. I think he's a good player. And I think Rice is on his way to being a great player. I think he's a little bit overrated because of the English thing. But you know what? The way he played for England in the international and the way he's been putting in performances, I mean, that goal for West Ham midweek, I do think he's flourishing into a great holding midfielder that I would have liked to see United go out and just break the bank for in the summer, get your team right, and you have the team to go and win the league then. But we didn't do that. And to me, Scott and Fred work well together. I think McTominay's got a lot more ability and got a lot more, what's the word for it, potential than Fred has. I don't think Fred will ever be a player for a top club. I think he's very lucky at Manchester United being used in the way he is. I don't think he's got the potential to be right up there. I think McTominay has. But if you're looking at it, for me, in my ideal Manchester United team, which we're nearly at, McFred both don't start. Rice could get into our team, definitely. Yeah. And I just think they have the edge with Rice and Souček. More goal contributions and just a little bit higher in quality.
CVS says, imagine if Sir Alex was managing this team, Ollie and his coaching team can't get the best of the players. Good to see you back, Beth, says Siva. And
good to be back.
Rafa says, just saw the lineup, and to be honest, this is Ollie's preferred team with the bench. Sad because
it is his preferred team. It's his favourite team.
Yeah, and I think as well, I mean, look, the reason I asked you about Rice and Souček is because this is a West Ham team. This is not a top four side. This is West Ham. Yes. West Ham could finish fifth. They could finish eighth. They won't finish in the bottom half. They're a decent team, but it's West Ham. And yet again, you're going, well, their midfield's better than ours. And this is it. Like, if Ollie's going to pick McTominay and Fred, the reason it trends and the reason it creates debate is because many people haven't seen them as a good midfield pair. And there will be United fans going, oh, shut up if we win. That's all that matters. But reality is, after this game, will Rice and Souček still be a better pair than McTominay and Fred, even if we lose? Well, yeah, because consistently they're a good pair, and consistently McTominay and Fred are a bit static. That if this is the midfield that Ollie wants to go with, and it's his right. He is the Manchester United manager. He is paid to be the Manchester United manager. If he wants to play McTominay and Fred, then that's up to him. No matter how much fans moan, it's up to him. But if that's going to work, they've got to become as good as Gundogan and Rodri, as good as Henderson and Fabinho, as good as Kante and Jorginho. They've got to be better than Souček and Rice. And I think that's the thing. Everybody looks at them and goes, they're just not as good as you need to be to win a title. And yet we're being told we're going to win a title.
You look at our forward line compared to the other top four teams, right up there. Our back line now, right up there. You look at other teams' midfield and you think, wow, McFred is like mid-table midfield. It's not like I was at a 21st yesterday, my friend's 21st, and a lot of people there and obviously talk about football and stuff, and they were saying, do you know, teams that support, people that support Liverpool, City, they were saying, look, Manchester United has our midfield. You probably win the title. Like you're that good. You've got that good players. But they said, like, when we see McFred starting for you, we think great because we know that they're not good. And it's like, that is the problem that we've got. Our midfield is so weak and every team knows it as well. So that gets targeted. Wan-Bissaka gets targeted a lot and so does McFred. And that's why a lot of the time we do lose the midfield battle. And do you know what? If Ollie, and the midfield is the most important part of the pitch as well. If we had a decent midfield, I am telling you now, we would play so much better. The link-ups would be better. There'd be 10 times more chances created because the ball would be getting into Bruno 10 times more. You'd be able to get it to Shaw quicker instead of having to get Maguire to do it. And I just think the midfield lacks so much and it cuts off so many opportunities for us. And it is upsetting to see that the management didn't think that was a priority in the summer. But anyway, we're here now and we've got McFred. And if Ollie's going to keep playing this way, he needs to keep winning. As soon as he loses, like we did against Young Boys, he will have everyone on his back because no one likes the way we play with it, because it is moments of brilliance. But if you're winning, people aren't going to complain. If you start losing, then you're in trouble because everyone's already pissed off at the way you play anyway.
Yeah, I agree. That moment when we hype up West Ham players that we beat easily, it's Grealish all over again, says DBO on my back. Fred, the Brazilian style Stevie Wonder, McFred out, says Sean O'Sullivan. Mark, hope you're well. Don't know why people think McTominay can play the 6 on his own when Ollie keeps starting him next to Fred. Sancho needs minutes, says Ron. I mean, that's a good point. A lot of people were saying that, give him a chance there. Oz says our midfield is such a joke as well. And
well, Ollie said he picked McFred today for energy. It just explains it all.
Well, yeah, actually, you're right. There will be some quotes coming in from Ollie. So let's have a quick look
he said he picked him for energy. It's just come through now on my phone.
I mean, Matic hasn't played in a week. I would have played Matic.
Yeah.
So Solskjaer has spoken about Sancho. We'll go through that first then. He said that Sancho started the Tuesday game and we found the decision better to leave him here now and the chance to come on and make a difference if we need him to. He played half a game.
So crushing, Sancho, though. You've come in.
He only played half an hour, didn't he? He took off after 35 minutes.
Yeah, I thought he was playing all right as well. The thing is with Sancho, which is so different, is he's not pulled up trees yet. Just give him time, because I'm telling you now, he's the only forward player that we've got that can actually hold on to the ball and can cope in pressurising situations. Like, he's so good at keeping possession. And I just don't want the way that Ollie sets the team up, which isn't right, which is hopefully we hit a brilliant pass and score. I don't want that to hinder Sancho, because he's a little bit like Donny in that sense. He's not like going to hit that amazing pass that Bruno's going to hit, but he plays very good football and he's very good with the football at his feet. And I just find it crazy. Like, with his assist tally at Dortmund, the balls he could be getting into Ronaldo given the chance. I just think Ollie sometimes he really makes me question him. He really does.
I know, and the sad thing is, I don't want to question him, but he keeps providing the questions. I
want him to be successful, but it's hard.
I feel it. I think a lot of people who are not Ollie out yet, but are Ollie doubt. I think you've got Ollie inners who are just blinded by the light, and I think you've got Ollie outers who are just frustrated, and I think you've got Ollie doubters. And I want to back Ollie, but he just keeps throwing up. The thing is, you can't back somebody when they keep doing things you don't agree with, and that's what and his press conferences just seem to be becoming a little bit chaotic as well.
I can't watch his press conferences.
Yeah.
So it's just he doesn't. I just feel like saying speak the truth instead of PR answers. It's so annoying.
Well, he said here as in relation to as you said, in relation to the midfield, he said McTominay and Fred, of course, they're back in. They're a partnership that we see here. We want to have their energy here today. And then he furthered that by saying McTominay's always been a physical monster and specimen. He's fit. And of course, we want him to get going as quick as possible. He's missed a bit of football, but the operation was needed. And why not put him back in?
Why not? Might get injured again, but why not?
Because you've got Matic, because mate, you spent £35 million on a player from Ajax. There's plenty of reasons. But it's almost like he's justifying it himself publicly. Well, he's not played a lot. He's fit. Why not pick him? But a little bit of conviction. I mean, just say McTominay and Fred are my first choice midfield pair, and that's what I'm. He will never. He obviously picks the team, and that's what he's doing. He's basically saying to the world, McTominay and Fred are my midfield too. But he'll never commit. He always goes, well, you know what? It's about energy. It's about, we see them as a partnership, and he's back playing now, so we're going to pick him. And, I just think that there are too many question marks around Ollie's answers at the moment. And, one thing we haven't spoken about, actually, is Ronaldo. Do you feel that the Ronaldo bubble has burst a little bit? We've not spoken about Ronaldo, and we've been live for coming up for an hour. Whereas last week it was, we didn't talk about anything else but Ronaldo. It's like we have one of the greatest players in the world. We have a Manchester United legend in our team, and he's not been discussed at all. And these are the sort of games where he just wins as the game. Doesn't matter whether you've got McFred or not.
100%. And this is another thing that I was speaking about. Just firstly on he doesn't really make decisions with conviction. That's another thing that really stresses me out. Like, you could see it in the Young Boys game. He was making these subs, but he didn't even look sure of him himself, just constantly speaking to his backroom staff. Like, make a decision for yourself and stick with it. Like, people might not agree with it, but just come out and say it and stick with it, because you are the Manchester United manager. And on Ronaldo, a point I wanted to make is I was so frustrated when he took Ronaldo off in the Young Boys game. I only think he took Ronaldo off because he was taking Bruno off, and he didn't want to look like he was just taking Bruno off. So he was like, oh, I'll take my 2 best players off. He's like, just have a bit of balls and just take Bruno off then if you're going to do that. And with Ronaldo, he shouldn't have come off in that game, because anyone knows, me and you know, we're not managers, we've not got our coaching badges. Like, we know Ronaldo, if he's on the pitch, he's the most likely person in the world to score you a goal. So why are you taking him off in a game where we need a goal? He literally scored 2 goals in, what was it, like 8 minutes for Ireland when he'd done nothing all game. That I couldn't get my head round. And with Ronaldo, I think why we're not speaking about him as much is because we just know his ability. We know his ability so well. We know he's going to go into games and we know he's probably going to score. And there's so many other parts of our team that we do have concerns about and that need talking about. So with Ronaldo now, we were concerned about a striker last season. It kept coming up in discussion. Is it going to be Greenwood? Can Martial do it? But now we've got Ronaldo. It's probably our strongest position on the pitch now. Well, it is our strongest position in the pitch, because you've got, in my opinion, the best one out there. And he's going to do his job if he gets a service. It's just whether he's going to get the service. I'd like to see him stay in the box a little bit more, because I feel like in previous games he's had to come deep to receive the ball, because he's not getting the ball in the box the way he'd like it. You saw him just saying to Shaw, cross the ball to me, cross the ball to me. And that's what he needs. He needs the service. So I hope he does get that today.
Not Ollie out, but Fred will eventually be the demise of Ollie. Hopefully he starts utilising his squad better. We can only hope, says Vicky. And when Rashford and Cavani are back, do you reckon Mata and Van der Beek are out of subs bench as well, says Kartik? Well, yeah, probably, because you can only pick so many subs. And you know what? This is one thing that everybody needs to keep in mind, is that as a fan, I think most people are like, it wasn't the summer it could have been. It was a great summer, but we should have got a midfielder. But remember, Ollie has said no excuses. He's happy with the team that he's got. I think today you can see why we haven't got a midfielder. We haven't got a midfielder because he believes Scott McTominay and Fred are his first choice midfielders. So he doesn't need a midfielder when he's got Matic and then Van der Beek if things go wrong. So this is, everyone can say we wanted a midfielder, but I think everyone's stuck in this mindset that McTominay and Fred are finished or they're not good enough. They're not finished. They're still very much alive and part of Solskjaer's plans. And this is why we didn't buy a midfielder, because this manager believes that those players are good enough to get him into a title race. And today is one of those days, and obviously there's going to be many more, where we need to see that evidence, because I don't think we can grind it out.
The only question with that though, Mark, is I want you actually to answer this for me. Like, what's going to happen with Pogba then if they are his choice throughout the whole season?
Well, I said it before you came on. When Rashford comes back, he plays.
He does.
So where do you put Pogba? You're going to drop Greenwood as well and put Pogba on the right. And then you've got Greenwood and Sancho and Lingard and Martial on the bench. It's like,
doesn't make sense.
Pogba's going into the midfield. But I don't know that. So therefore, it's like, what are we doing today? Is it if Pogba's going into midfield anyway when Rashford's back? Well, this is just short-termism. This is just a plaster, because it's like we'll just pick a team to beat West Ham, or are we going to long-term stick with McTominay and Fred, and then what happens to Pogba, like you say? So it's like it is an interesting point. None of us will know the answer until Rashford's back, because Rashford goes straight into the team, doesn't he?
I think you might see McTominay and Pogba start together. I don't know if it'll work, but I think
I'd rather that.
I think McTominay is genuinely one of Ollie's first names on the team sheet whenever he's fit. He's obsessed with him. He's obsessed with him. He loves him. So
he's not even meant to be fit until next week. So
he's like Rashford level of love. That's how much he loves him. And it's like he's not going to drop him. Fred, I think he does like, but he's not on McTominay's level. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Pogba and McTominay. But it's like, how many times are we going to try these different duos out and then just revert back to McFred? Because that's what will happen.
Neil says Ollie's more concerned about his job than his players at his disposal. He's picked a team not to lose. Michael says Ollie blind behind the attack. He and the board think we needed a striker to play the United way. They don't see the midfield controls that aspects, is Michael. Kurt says Ollie just said during his pitch side interview that the matches are not won in the midfield. He can't be serious, says Kurt. And Jay says, I'm sorry, but Sancho needs time and he's not going to be another Van der Beek if we've already seen that so far, and we're only starting McFred once. It was 5-1, says Jay. They're good points there. Yeah, I think, just on McTominay as well, I don't want to be proved right on this, but I've said this a few times, that Scott McTominay actually does pick up quite a few injuries. If you look at the last 2 years, I spoke about it the other week. I think in the last 2 years, he's had 6 different injuries. So, it's not McTominay's going to play for United. He loves playing for United. That's one of the things people love about McTominay is this passion and, gives 100%, which I think every player should be doing anyway. I don't think it should be something that's championed. It should be something that's given a standard, but he does give 100%. But if he's been rushed back again and he picks up another injury in the next few weeks, I think you're right to put the Rashford comparison in there, because McTominay seems to play a lot for Ollie now. I just hope he is fully fit.
It's one of them where is he not fully fit because he keeps getting rushed back, which could be the case. And he's still he's not that young anymore. People think he's still an academy player. He's not, but he's still youngish in his career. And I've not always been the biggest Scott McTominay fan, but I do think there is a player in there that can do something for us in the future, whether it is a squad player, whether what his role could be. But I would hate to see McTominay go down the same path as Rashford, where it's constantly reoccurring injuries because they get him overplayed and played too much. At the end of the day, Ollie can have McTominay as his first choice. If that's what he wants to do as manager, that's what he wants to do. But you shouldn't need him to play every single football game throughout the whole season. That isn't right. You should have someone who can come in and replace him, and there should be squad rotation to protect players from injury. That I don't think we've seen yet with Ollie. I think he really needs to work on knowing which games he can afford to drop his best. In his mind, his best players. And I think every game he goes into it thinking, I have to win this, and he just plays who he trusts. And that's why players are getting overplayed. It's like he doesn't trust himself to win with players that he doesn't see as his best 11, which any manager should be able to, who trusts himself as a manager and knows he's a good manager, should be able to manage players that are still very, very highly technical, good players, and be able to win games against teams that are in lower standard. But he doesn't do that. He always picks his best 11, which to me shows a little bit of insecurity in his own management, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Super chat here from Marcus. He says, I'm worried about key players wanting to stay. Ronaldo and Varane are players who want to win. Rishi says, Ollie's constant selection of Fred is pushing me to Ollie out from Ollie down. Great work. The United stand, says Rishi. And great to see the pre-game pundits finally knocking McFred after months of you saying it, says Canada. I mean, look, just before you go, Beth, because I know we're getting close to kickoff, but the one thing we should all say as well is that we've got 10 points. If we win today, we're top of the league. Like there is context, but I think that that's what the I don't know what to call them. That's what the obsessives would say. Oh, look at all this moaning and we're top of the league. We're not a club that's won the league in the last 3 years. We've not won the league for 8 years. We've seen seasons start well and end badly. We've seen what happens when things aren't quite right. And I think if we do win, we're top. But if we grind out a win 1-0 and we don't play very well, we're top. I think a lot of people would still be like, yeah, but this is not going to last. It's like, I don't think the critics are being short-termist. I think that the reaction to, I think Ollie even says, oh, one bad result and everyone's on your back at United. But that's really naive, because actually most people moaned about the Young Boys result because of it's happening again, time and time again. The way we lost that game is a mistake by Lingard. Like, we should have drawn it, which isn't a great result. But I think it was just the way we played in that game. And I think people are just getting a bit tired of that.
They are. It's the same thing over and over again. Like, don't get me wrong. If we would have had like a crazy like Ronaldo header or Bruno shot from like 40 yards out and we would have won the game, there wouldn't have been as much criticism, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that we played extremely poorly. And that's what I was saying about, you've got to win if you're going to play that way. Like, if you're going to play pragmatic football and rely on goals from these players, then you've got to win. Because if you don't, and you've played such negative football, you've played in a negative way, you've parked the bus from the 36th minute in against Young Boys, people are going to have something to say about it. And do you know what? I know we're going to be top of the league, and I am so happy about that. And don't get me wrong, I do think this is the best Manchester United team we've had in a very long time. And I think there's massive potential. All of these things I've said time and time again, but when you've got the highest standard for your club, and you want your club to be at the highest standard possible, and you can see that the players are there to get to that standard, you've got the potential to reach that. Decisions, in-game management, substitutions, they do get to you, even when you are top of the league, because you know it could be even better and you're always reaching for more. So that's the thing. I am grateful to be, if we do go top of the league, I'm extremely grateful, because it is progression and it is a good start to the season. But at the same time, when you don't agree with certain things, you're going to say it because you're a fan and you want the best for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And I think that people have, most of our community, yourself as well, people have the courage to, have their opinion. And I think that this is, I can only speak for myself here, but it wasn't the young boys result that made me angry. I know we can lose games. I've seen Sir Alex lose games. What was making me frustrated is that time and time again over the last 2 years, I've seen those types of performances. And I still say, we're not playing the United way. It's almost like, because he was a legend of the club, he can say we're trying to play attack. I mean, even Ed Woodward said it, attacking football the United way. We're not playing the United way. I'm sorry, we're just not. So stop talking about it or deliver it. And that's what frustrates me, is that if it wasn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and it was Jose Mourinho, I don't see a lot of difference in the way that we're playing or the substitutions, Ronaldo and Bruno off. That if Mourinho had done that, he would have got pelters. And there has to be some accountability. And I think that hopefully today we'll see a different United.
I know, let's just hope we get the win. Let's hope, even if we do play pragmatically, we still get the win, because you always want your team to win. But, I mean, I hope we see some attacking football. We'll have to see. Ronaldo, captain on fantasy. He needs to score a few.
Thanks very much, Beth. Are you on the forum later?
Yeah, I am. I'll be there.
Great. So you can catch Beth on the forum after the match, where she'll be discussing her thoughts. And your score prediction was 2-1, wasn't it?
2-1. 2-1 to United, yeah.
2-1. Okay, we'll speak to you in a little bit, Beth. Cheers for that.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Catch you in a bit. Thanks everyone who is tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the channel. So we're going to be live all the way through till full time. The players are just coming out onto the pitch. There's them fairy liquid bubbles blown out of the fairy liquid breath West Ham fans. They just have a big pint of it before they go in, and then they just start coughing and all these bubbles come out. I'm joking. That's not I don't know how they get it to work, really. But look, thanks everyone who's tuning in. Let's hope that United could get the result today. There's the man, Cristiano. We've not even spoken about him. In a way that's good, because I think these are the sort of games that Cristiano can win for Manchester United. They are. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. I know there's a lot in. You can see that we will have the stats on the screen for you as well. Bajani says, Ronaldo in the warm-up calling for more passes with his frustrated, demanding winner's face, saying pass, 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 and pointing to the ground. Look, Ronaldo is the most important player for Manchester United. Facts, right? So basically what you're getting with Ronaldo is, I think he is the knight in shining armor, because he is the fan on the pitch. He is the person that's going to demand that we play a certain way. Otherwise, he's not going to get it. Now, I'm interested to see what people say in the chat. It's like spending thousands on a high-end gaming PC players and using it playing PS1 games, says Gaudi. Yeah, it's like buying a PS5 and using PS4 games, isn't it? That don't have any enhancements on them. But there's three things for me in the match reaction, the breakdown, that I'm looking at. McFred and how they perform. Are they McFred, or are they a holding midfielder with McTominay having license to go forward? I'm looking at that. How many shots on target did we create for Ronaldo? I spoke about this the other day. How many shots on target do we create for our number 9? Is it graveyard shift or is it gravy? And third, high line. Are we going to play a high line with Varane, or are we going to play a back 6? They're three things that I'm looking for in this game. Get in the chat and let us know anything that you're looking for in this game. But that's what we're looking for me. In a tactical sense. Come on, United, says Hayen. I'm excited. I'm sure you are as well. Gaudi, yeah, we've done that one. Thanks for the super chats. You can do that through the $ if you wish. And thank you very much for supporting the channel. And please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. I'll let you know. My score prediction was 1-1 in the preview. But I actually feel that now it's match day, we will win this game. I really, really do. Subscribers wise, we are only 50 away from 136,000. So please subscribe, bottom right hand corner, get involved with the United Stand community. You're all welcome. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 a.m. and lots of shows in between, press conference reactions, previews, transfer news, match days, fan forums. And also in the second half through the website, we'll put the link up for you. You can you mark the player ratings, every player out of 10, 6 being the average, star for your man of the match, and we go through that in the match reaction show where I give my ratings, but it flashes up your average player ratings as well. So looking forward to that. I worry about our midfield. McTominay hasn't touched the ball for months. Fred is out of form, says Johnny. Well, it's not months. He did play against Leeds a month ago. Frederick and Matt, thank you very much for becoming members. Unpopular opinion, I think this is our best lineup. I'm now happy with it. I think if this is our consistent lineup, we can win the league, says Yusuf. Well, it's unpopular, Yazuf, because it's not our best lineup, because it's not Ollie's best lineup. There is no way he's going to spend £74 million on a winger and not implement him. There is no way Marcus Rashford is not going to start in this team. And if you heard what Ollie said last night about the goalkeeping situation, he said that I'm not going to guarantee that Dean Henderson isn't the number one when he's fully fit. So Ollie's going to chop and change. Of course he is. Thoughts on the net zero carbon games is one player. I've not heard of it, but it sounds good. Look, let's see what happens in this game. Jimmy Greaves passed away this morning. Very, very sad about that. I grew up watching Saint and Greavesy. Lovely comedy pairing they were, but ex-footballers as well. I think Ian St. John died last year or the year before, and now Greaves is gone as well. So very sad news. Fantastic striker. That last super chat was dumb, says Oz, and they're just doing an applause there as well. So I'm just trying to be a little bit quiet. Please share the video if you're watching. Share the video. Share it on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Smash a like as well. Get involved with the channel. Very, very welcome, of course. And let's hope United can get the win here today. We certainly do need one. We can go top of the league if we win it. And of course, massive opportunity, like I said last night. Chelsea are about to play Spurs. Then they play City, and then City play Liverpool the week after. We've got 2 home games coming up after this, so it's a massive opportunity for us. I've gone and put the timer up, Draughty, and I realised it's you, so I will tell you when it goes. No, but I've got it. I've opened it up to press start. I've just got a black screen now. Yeah, no worries. Okay, I'll tell you when we kick off. Bruno's got the ball. Go. There we go. We've started. So we've gone for yardage to start off with. A long ball up to Pogba, but West Ham win it back. And let's just keep an eye on Fred and McTominay in this game and see how we do. I think they're going to play as a midfield pivot, and I think Fred will go forward when it's on the left-hand side and McTominay will go forward on the right-hand side. We've seen that before. But I want to see dynamite football. I don't want to see pass the parcel football. And what I mean like that is I want to see United treat the ball like a stick of dynamite. You don't want to keep hold of it in case it explodes. And we want to move it and move it and move it. That's what I want to see from United. But a long ball here, and Varane's in a situation where he's got a 2v2, 2v1. But look at the strength of Varane to bring it out from the back. I think he might have won a free kick or an offside there. But he had 2 against 1 there. I mean, he's bloody good, but come on. So, yeah, Pogba's playing off the left. Early doors. I mean, I don't know if anyone watched Match of the Day last night. That penalty decision against Southampton and Kyle Walker, even there is no explanation about that. I think we're all trying to find an explanation about it, but nobody understands it. Nobody understands that. So hopefully we'll get away with one of those today if it happens to us. I think every team deserves one of those. Stonewall penalties being overturned by weird VAR. But, yep, we are playing in light blue. That's what got me thinking about it. Anyway, United with the ball here. Luke Shaw into Ronaldo, dropping very deep. Come on, United, says Ray Cole Brown Amore. Look how teams do. They let us have. I've noticed this a lot with teams. They let us have the ball, but they really pack the midfield. And what we end up doing is, in these situations, lovely ball by Varane. Lovely ball by Varane. Keeps it on the ground. Refuses to hit it long. Takes out 4 West Ham players, and Ronaldo flicks it off. And suddenly we're up the pitch. And Luke Shaw, that was brilliant by Varane. That's what you want to see. Not long ball. Look at Fred. All the way back to the halfway line because he's totally inept at taking responsibility for his position. You're a fucking midfielder, mate, and you're passing it 20 yards back to the halfway line. And that's why, because he's just tried a forward pass. Yeah, keep passing it back, Fred. Cause for a goal kick. Yeah, I mean, Muzzy says the tempo is slow. I think the reason the tempo is slow because it's very difficult for us to play through the midfield because everyone packs the midfield because they know we're weak in the midfield. Welcome to Members Club, Chris M. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for joining. We've won a corner here. I don't know why West Ham let it go, but it's a corner. Now, these are an area where United this season, I think, are going to be a major threat. You've got Paul Pogba, Cristiano Ronaldo, Harry Maguire, Rafael Varane, Scott McTominay. You've got 5 players and good ball delivery from Luke Shaw. So this is a major area for us this season. And it's a goal kick from Scott McTominay's head. Yeah, goal kick. Feeling hot. Fred was good against young boys. Fred FC's in the chat. Don't get into an argument with Fred FC. They love him. Look, I've said this before. I don't care whether you love Fred or you don't like Fred. It's nothing personal. He has played well in a Manchester United shirt. But this season, I think he's played poorly. What I can't say is that he's been given more opportunities than Matic and Donny, and he better start taking those opportunities because he gets a lot of game time. Sorry, my microphone's in the way of the bloody screen here. And Pogba's gone down. Oh, I think he's going to be all right. I think he's all right. Just caught it on the floor. He might not be all right. It's a bit late. I mean, to be honest, that's a yellow card. Oh, no, I think he will be all right. He's trod on his foot. He'll be all right. It's just trod on his big toe. Pogba down. I think he'll be all right. I think he's going to be all right. I think he's just trod on his toe. It's a bit like when you kick, when you kick the door and you've got bare feet. Ollie benched Lingard because you bantered their date night, says Mason Reed. What I haven't bantered any date night. Thanks for the super chats, by the way, Jimbo. Thank you very much. You can do that through the $sign if you so wish. Passing's been good so far, says Connor. Yeah, we've got to get that tempo going. Look, this is why, for me, I don't moan too much about the actual team news and like Ollie out and all that shit until the game's over, because we could, 11 players, you can predict how we're going to play because we've seen what happens when he normally plays McTominay and Fred. But like somebody said, McTominay and Fred as a holding two, you don't need when you've got Varane. So maybe there will be more license to get forward. Pogba doing his Shakespeare classes again, says 58 go. He's fine. I knew as soon as he went down, he was all right. Yeah, that's not the sort of an injury that's going to keep him out. It's a pain one. It's not a game-ending one, Look at me, Karaki. I'm throwing. I did the throw-in, Karaki. I did the throw-in. He won't let it happen. It's illegal, but the banter, do a meme. Let's get some comedy in the chat. You know what? That's what it's all about. Football. Bring it on. Anyway, a little bit more encouraging in the first 5 minutes from Manchester United. I'm excited for this game. I love all the chat, but when you get going, that's what it's all about. Pogba's fine. Don't worry. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Remember, we're only 50 away from 136,000, so make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the channel. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Sancho's on the bench, yes. Fred's, that's not a helpful ball to Harry. He has to go back to De Gea. With all our 6+ footers, we should be able to at least set pieces. Varane, Ronaldo, McTominay, Maguire, Pogba, all giants, but we are woeful, says Adaraj. I disagree with you, Adaraj. I think Luke Shaw's ball delivery is actually very, very good, and I think that will be a big asset for us this season. Uni says, if United win the league, can you get Pogba's trim? I'll happily do it. I'll happily do that. I'll happily get a Pogba trim. And I know the guy who does it as well, so I can definitely arrange that. Bang, bang. I think I look an absolute prat with it, but you know what? We'll have won the league, so who cares? See, Ronaldo's dropping deep a lot just to get involved. I'm not a big fan of number 9s who do that. I don't like it when Harry Kane does it. That's better from McTominay into the feet of Ronaldo. But I don't like the number 9 doing it, because if you take England as an example, most of the Euros, Harry Kane was dropping deep and you never noticed Mason Mount as the number 10. And that's why I don't like the number 9 doing it, because they get pulled out of position to do it. This is where I want the number 10 to get it here, like Bruno, looking for that ball into Greenwood. Actually, I've got Greenwood and Ronaldo in my fantasy Premier League team, and Luke Shaw. But that's a good ball by Luke Shaw early into Bruno, and he tries to play the ball through to Greenwood, and it's just a yard off. Viva Ronaldo, says Tato. But yeah, I don't like number 9s who drop deep, because they basically get in way of the number 10 and then they're out of position themselves. But, you know, it can be a frustration when the number 9 does that to get involved in the game. And I tell you what, already we've seen Varane way more on the ball than Maguire. He's the dominant centre-back. Remember, we noticed this a lot last year with Maguire and Lindelof. We used to say, why is Lindelof the dominant centre-back when Harry Maguire's the more physical one? You know, Maguire was always the sweeper one. He's the one who'd say to Lindelof, you go and have the physical battle with the number 9. I'm going to stand free and pass the ball about. Well, you know, that never worked because Lindelof isn't physical enough, but it will work with Varane. And already you can see in his short time at United that Varane is going to be the centre-back who's going to deal with the striker. Mohammed says, I'm going to go for United with a 2-1 win. I guess that this is a farewell to Donny. I just hope Fred has got a good game, says Mohammed. Fred's got to have a good game, hasn't he? Got to have a good game. He's been given all the opportunities. Nice takedown by Fred. Lovely pass to a West Ham player. Brilliant control, and then passes it to a West Ham player. If I speak, I'll be in trouble with Fred FC. I want to be in Fred FC. You know, I do. But I'm not going to be in it just on pure petrol fumes. You know, I want to see a performance. I'd like to see how many touches our defenders have compared to other teams in the top 4. We don't have anyone to take the ball off them, says Sean Turner. Yeah, we do pass around the back 4 a lot. We're pressing. You know, one positive I would say is that we are pressing the ball very well in the first few minutes here. But West Ham are not opposed to... Oh, Pogba's a little bit late there. Declan Rice just skips past Greenwood. But watch out. De Gea's got that. Easy take by De Gea. And there was a late tackle by Pogba, but the players got up. So I think we can play on, which we have done. I'd certainly say McTominay's passing is better than Fred's so far, which is Ronaldo so deep. This is better from United. That needed to go in, Luke. There was a cross there, and he refused it to go to Bruno. We overplayed that. This is better. This is better. High up the pitch, pass and move, pass and move. And we've got to go back to Varane now. It's a bit of a shame there because we moved the ball really, really well to the left-hand side, and Luke Shaw's got it, and he just needs to put the cross in straight away, and Ronaldo would be competing for it on the back post, and he overplayed it, which is something we're going to have to get used to because we're not used to moving the ball that quick in the first place, but it was the opportunity to put the cross in. But we still got the ball. Wan-Bissaka into McTominay. It's a bad pass. Maguire's under pressure now. There goes back to De Gea. Well, literally, as Alberto says, McTominay's passing's been better. And the minute we give him some praise, he plays a bad pass. But it has been certainly... We've played through the lines a couple of times, which is what we want to see. It's a good play by Wan-Bissaka. He has to go backwards. Bruno switch. Lovely switch of the play to Luke Shaw here. He's got space. Now the cross needs to go in. Oh, he's overplayed it again. He's got to put that cross in, Luke. You've had 2 opportunities. He's got to put the cross in. He's overplaying it. He's had 2. This is, you know, it frustrates me. Luke Shaw's one of my favourite players, but you've got Cristiano Ronaldo in the team. You can't refuse the cross. And twice he's refused the cross where Ronaldo's in the box. You've got to put those crosses in. There's no point having a player like Cristiano Ronaldo in the team if you're going to refuse the early cross. If he's in the box, put it in there. When does Fred have? What does Fred have on Solskjaer that keeps starting? Mark, love the channel. Keep it up, mates. Says Taran. Thank you very much for the super chats. You can keep those coming in through the $sign, and we'll read them out. United with a lot of the possession here, 75%. I'd take that as a positive. No shots yet. 12 minutes gone. Little steps. Varane. Here's Wan-Bissaka. Nicely into Greenwood. And I'll go for a throw-in. Varane's been amazing. You know, the thing with Varane is that you can just notice him. That's a cross. That's a cross. I liked that cross. That's the early cross that you're talking about here. Bonner puts it out for a corner. But Ronaldo, that's what he wants. That's the appreciation. He does the nod of the head. He wants that cross to come in early. I think it was it Bruno who put that in? Might have been Bruno. I didn't see who put the cross in, but it was from quite deep. But it's bang, it's straight in. And it's another corner here for United. But that cross comes in really quick, and that's what Ronaldo wants. Do you like possession football, says Declan Carr? I like possession football if it's progressive. I don't like it when it's slow. Oh, I'll tell you what, it's another good cross from Luke Shaw there, but it's good defensively. They have got two very good centre-backs in the air in Igbona and Zuma, West Ham. So physically, it's going to be difficult. So far, so good. Jesus, our fans are obsessed with Fred. It's creepy, says Travis. Nice ball by Ronaldo. Here's Bruno. Can he find it back? Oh, I tell you what, Bruno's looking good as well. Right sort of balls are coming in here. Oh, Greenwood could have slipped McTominay in there. It's been a good start from United, I've got to say. I'll go for a goal kick, I think. Fred trying a longer ball towards Bruno, who's gone down. Head collision, but I don't think anything's going to happen from that. I mean, that's not a good ball by Fred. If you look at it, it's too high. It's never going anywhere near Bruno. It's not a good ball. People say, "Oh, unlucky Fred, it's a good ball." I mean, it's a forward ball. It's not a good ball. It's too high. No one's ever going to get that. I'll give him a bit of applause that it was forwards, but you know, I think in that instance, probably would have been better just to keep it on the ground and keep the moment going. You're not Paul Pogba. Mark, please say unlucky to my Don watching you now. Rattled the post from 35 yards yesterday in Cork City under 14s. Next stop, Old Trafford, says Paul Galvin. Big shout out, mate, to Don. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. West Ham have got no bite at the moment. United have definitely been the better team, although Harry Maguire's got himself into all sorts of problems. And it's a good block by Wan-Bissaka. Don't know what Maguire's doing there. He puts his hand up. It could have been 1-0 West Ham. Don't know what he's doing. Don't know what Harry's doing here. He's under no pressure. He turns straight into a West Ham player who cuts it back to Bowen. And I think it's Wan-Bissaka with a great block. Fred off. Really not sure what Ollie's seeing in him now. It's honestly beyond a joke, says Josh. I don't think he's been that bad. But yeah, I don't know what happens here with... we won't see it back, but it's a nice kick out by De Gea to Ronaldo, but no, Ronaldo can't keep the ball. Well, we were just saying West Ham's done nothing, and they nearly went 1-0 up. Best chance of the game, actually, because we've created nothing. We've had a lot of the ball, but we haven't created anything. But a little bit sloppy from Harry there. Made a mistake last week against Newcastle. We don't want to see those sort of things slipping into his game. You know, he's been a very good player for us the last calendar year. But they've not shown us it back yet, but that'll give West Ham a bit of a boost because for all the possession, no chances for United yet. Nice switch of the play to Kufal. Bowen's in the box. Watch out for Pogba in the box. He does give penalties away. And a shot wide. I think it's from Soucek. It is. So it goes for a goal kick. McTominay's having a good start. If he can develop these line passing breaks and work on his reading of the game, he could be useful this season, says Andrew. So yeah, Maguire should be putting this out. He just gets himself into trouble. And it's a cutback. And I think it's Varane with the block, actually. It looked like it was Wan-Bissaka, but it's actually Varane. Or was it Varane? It's hard to tell whether it was Varane or Wan-Bissaka, one of the two. Get Fred and Donny on. Get Fred off and Donny on, says Jay. You're dreaming, mate. Ain't never going to happen. Ain't never going to happen. I can't tell who blocked it. It was Varane or Wan-Bissaka. I think it was Varane. Varane is a beast. A few games in and becoming my favourite player, says Brian. I did say, until we got to Ronaldo, I did say that Varane was the best signing of the summer because, all right, it's not a glamorous position, but he is one of the best players in the world. So, you know, Varane is just top quality. He's top tier. He's top tier. There'll be goals that happen that his man, because that's what happens. But in general, he's brilliant. West Ham first to get a shot off House, says Emil. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I think we've played well in this game, but we've had no shots on target again. It's one of the key factors I've taken down for the, you know, to summarise the game at the end, and no shots again. I don't understand why we can never have sustained pressure around the box like top sides, just constantly playing around the box, says Matthew Ollie. So, yeah, we'll have to see how the next 10 minutes goes. West Ham are starting to get a bit of momentum here. Pogba doing his defensive work, though. He's in his own box here. Nice little roll to Fred. Now, come on, Fred. Don't go backwards. Go forwards. Well done. He's done well there. But Ronaldo, look how deep Ronaldo is. He's too deep. Way too deep. Was it Varane or Wan-Bissaka who blocked it? A lot of people are saying it was Wan-Bissaka now. It was Wan-Bissaka, says Gavin. No, even the chat doesn't know. "20 minutes gone. What are my thoughts on United? I've liked some of the passing, but ultimately I think we're drifting a little bit between, it could be a good performance, it could be a bad performance. I think at the moment it's sort of drifting between the two. But I would say again, are we causing West Ham any problems in relation to shots? No, not at the moment. Nice ball. Wan-Bissaka passes it in there. I think he should have gone for McTominay there. West Ham have, look at how West Ham have, good, lovely play by West Ham here. They've really worked this well. Here's Kufal, who's a good right back. Little dink towards the back post. Varane will deal with that. Of course he will. Oh, De Gea with the save with his foot. Oh, bit of a chance there. 2 shots already for West Ham. 3 shots for West Ham. Well, we've dominated possession, but I don't think they've had any. I don't think we've had any shots on goal, have we? I mean, Varane does well with the header here. McTominay's got to go and win that. It seems a bit hesitant there, McTominay. Good save with his foot by De Gea. Couldn't really see it till late. I think McTominay needs to be a bit stronger there, but we get away with it. We are Man United, but we are praising McSauce for passing better than Fred and praising Fred for passing forward. Someone please explain, says Raven. Well, here is Fred. That's a good pass by Fred. 40 yards into the feet of Ronaldo. And Ronaldo, typically bloody Ronaldo loses it now. Fred's crying. That's my pass of the season. You've lost control of it, you useless twat. Yeah, I'm the best player in the world, mate. You've got a fake Brazilian passport. I don't know why I'm speaking for Ronaldo. He doesn't need me to speak for him. West Ham getting a bit of steam up here. They seem to be growing in confidence after that first 15 minutes. I thought United were good on the ball without creating anything again. It's this inability to create chances, isn't it? It's going to be I still think we'll win the game, but we're still not entertaining in the sense of creating chances. There's Ollie and Carrick. Don't know what they're doing. Don't know. Thanks for the super chat, Ina. And also, it's unimaginative marks, is Nicholas Addy. Thanks for the super chats, everyone. 32,000 watching. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Ollie's got his hands up in the air. I like this camera because you get to see the touchline a bit. Here's Greenwood. Nice ball. Wan-Bissaka now. Early. Oh, he's refused it as well. Fullbacks have got to take these crosses. Now, put the cross in. No, it's not from that angle. Lovely turn. He spun Fred like a bottle top here. He slipped it in. Maguire will be all right. Maguire's all right for that. Well done. Well done. Give and go. Lovely. Lovely by De Gea there. We've come out of that. Lovely. Nice by McTominay. That's it. Progressive. Now, look. Go. Forward. Lovely play. Now we've got... Yeah, this is it. Lovely out from the back, United. High tempo football. Here's Ronaldo. Come on, Cristiano. Oh, he got the shot off. Best bit of play of the game, that, from United. Started from De Gea. Quick pass all the way through. This is what happens when you move the ball forward. Everybody's playing a forward pass. Tempo. And Ronaldo gets the shot off. That's what we want to see. Look at all the space that's created by moving the ball fast from back to front. Instead of going, everyone taking a bloody touch. That was better. That's what we want to see. First shot of the game. Good play. Applaud it because, that's what we want to see. Higher tempo. Dynamite football. Everyone wants to get rid of it. It's going out for a throw-in. I think McTominay's back too early. He looks hesitant to go into anything more than a jog, says Joshua Bowwater. Interesting observation there. A good defensive midfielder stifles the opponent's attacks and gets the ball back to his attackers. We play two at a time and achieve nothing, says Tom Holmes. Ronaldo is deep because he isn't getting the ball enough. He's trying to get involved and not end up in the graveyard shift, and Varane blocks the shot, says Chino. Thank you very much. Two very good points there from Chino. That moment when a David Moyes team is playing triangles around us, says Benjamin. Ever since you mentioned it, I can't stop watching McTominay and his hopping. It's infuriating, says Alligator. We have Varane playing way out of position because we have no bloody midfield, says Marcus Laird. Come on. 25 minutes gone. First goal in this game is going to be really important. West Ham will start winning the midfield battle soon. Matic has to start in the league for me. Just rest him during midweek games, says Sean Turner. Here's McTominay. Come on, forward pass, Scott. Play a forward one. Go on, don't refuse it. That's it. Forward. Try and play the forward pass. Every pass so far has been a forward pass. No, it's not. Good play, Greenwood. Switch it. Look at Luke Shaw. I don't mind this sort of passing because it's trying to be progressive. Look at Bruno putting the cross in early again. These early crosses from Bruno are the way. Another corner. Thought Greenwood nearly gets on it as well. Corner United, come on. So many big players. Ronaldo, Maguire, McTominay, Varane, Pogba. Come on, let's find a forehead. Back post, Bruno! Oh, is it the post? What a hit. I think the keeper makes a save. Cross comes in from Luke Shaw again. Oh, how are we not 1-0 up? What a hit by Bruno. And I think the keeper gets a hand on it. Oh. What a save. I think it's a save. Fred and McTominay are awful, says Ian McCormick. They are getting spun on the counter every time and keep passing back and sideways. Carrick, well, doing well. Unlucky with those chances, Carrick. We're wearing blue, says Winter. Just joined Mark, says Wilco. Why is it that only Greenwood, Bruno and Ronaldo are positive and quick? Everyone else is slow and on a different page, says Wilco. Here's Luke Shaw. Go wide to Bruno. Oh, Luke Shaw with the shot. I don't think you're ever going to score from there, Luke. Luke's decision-making today has been a bit off, to be honest. I know people will say it's a shot on target, but when is Luke Shaw going to score from here? There's a pass wide to Bruno. I think it's a waste. This game is not the result we wanted. We pick all up ourselves and bounce again sort of game vibes, says Adaraj. Nah, too early. Too early for that. We'll be fine. Look at that leap from Ronaldo. Look at this. Lovely hit by Bruno. Yeah, he tips it onto the post. Fabianski. Great save. What a hit by Bruno. I think Bruno's having a very good game. Well, we've had 2 shots on target. We didn't have any a couple of minutes ago, so that's good. I think the first goal is going to be very important here. Oh, I need to just have a stretch. Oh, you've got to stretch it up. Oh, you've got to stretch it up. No width or wing play. McFred isolating Ronaldo, says Robin. You need someone like Almiron or Kante, says Harry O'Kane. 2 very different players there, Almiron and Kante. Attacking midfielder and holding midfielder. But it's not an or. I would have thought you'd say a both. Why is Carrick and McKenna always standing on the sideline with Ollie? Only manager that has multiple people with him on the side. Seems very amateur, says Matthew Day. But I explained this yesterday. I don't have a massive problem with it because it's definitely that's what we do. That Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was brought into the job for 4 months, and basically they gave a team to work with him, and he's always kept it that way. Edge of the box. It's a goal. Fucking goal. EastEnders FC. Fuck off with your bubbles, you liquid, very liquid, breathless twats. What a bloody joke. It's bloody deflected in. It's Ben Rama. How are we losing to this lot? Bloody prats. It's nothing. It's just pure bad luck. Pure bad luck. Although, who's closing him down on the edge of the box? Who's marking him here? It's on the edge of the box. Where's the bloody midfield? Greenwood has to slide in. Where's the fucking midfield here? Where is Fred? Oh, he's playing as bloody left back. McTominay and Fred, too close together. And where's the midfield there? Where is the midfield there? Varane's got to come out and block it, and it's deflected off Varane's hand. He probably would have got a penalty for that. There's nothing De Gea can do. We're 1-0 down. Oh, I just despair. I bloody despair. I really do. I mean, where is the midfield? It's Haber on Twitter. Fred and McTominay nowhere to be seen. Fucking missing in action again. Bloody hell. But it is a stupid, I've got to say, midfield have got to take the blame if anyone's got to take the blame. But at the end of the day, it's also a really jammy, unlucky goal for the fairy liquid breath twats. Blow your bubbles. They're lucky. They're very, very lucky with that. McTominay at fault, got pulled out of position. Well, I don't know who you want to blame. They're both out of position. Here we go. Oh, come on. Carricky, get Jesse, says Matt Carroll. And Kante or Almiron are both hard workers. They would have been there, says Harry O'Kane. Told you, we bounce back vibes. We play for our lives. Nonsense, says Adaraj. Get on the touchline, Carricky. We need to get Lingy on. Seriously, though, his subs will be Matic for Fred, Sancho for Mason, and Lingy for Ronaldo. says Nate H. And hi, Mark. I've made a music video in the style of Bubbly Biscuit Bass featuring your legendary Ulster intro last week. Mark Goldbridge is bloody fuming. Thanks for everything you and the team do. Says Candrug. Thank you. Thanks for the super chats there. I'm pissed off because I just think that the goal is really lucky. There's nothing De Gea can do. You know, it's deflected off Varane. But it's a lovely ball by McTominay. Ronaldo! No. What a ball by McTominay that was. Pogba takes a dive. Ref says no. What a ball by McTominay that was. I'll give him his credit there. Lovely play by Wan-Bissaka. Oh, lovely play by Wan-Bissaka there. Well done. Gets the shot off. Watch this ball by McTominay. Lovely pass. If that's Bruno, we're all praising it. Ronaldo just can't get the shot off. Ends up with Wan-Bissaka and he does well. I might be wrong, but didn't you say if Ollie uses McFred this year, you would be Ollie out? Yeah, I've spoken about this many times before, Talent Art. And what I said is that if he picks McTominay and Fred regularly this season, I will be Ollie out. But you've got to have the bad results to go with that. I mean, if things change... Oh! Sue! Ronaldo! Sue! Bruno! Sue! Lovely! He's done it again. Cristiano Ronaldo gets Manchester United back in it. Absolutely fantastic. Bruno with the early ball into the box again. And Cristiano gets it to 1-1. That's 4 goals in 3 games. And it's absolutely bloody brilliant. It's Fred who gets it wide. Bruno with the cross. He's onside by the foot, you can tell. Cross comes in. It's a delightful cross. Bruno with this cross. Ronaldo with the follow-up. It's 1-1. They're checking VAR, but his leg keeps him on. Surely the leg keeps him on. Yes, he's onside. Get in. I've got eyes. I've got eyes. It's 1-1. Shove that in your arse, Specsavers. 1-1 Manchester United. Sue has done it. Get back in there. What's our shape today and what style of play are we playing? Let's see if Ollie can make an in-game adjustment now, says Sean Turner. I think the positive I've seen from Manchester United, and we've spoken about it a few times, I think Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw have refused the early cross. I need to write this down. They've refused the early cross, but the one player who knows how to play with Ronaldo, because he's played with him a lot for Portugal, and keeps putting in early crosses, is Bruno. Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka have got to learn to put those early crosses in, because that goal comes from Bruno, early cross. But a couple of times in this game, we've seen it. I think Bruno's having a fantastic game, by the way. He should have had a goal. But he's whacking them early crosses in all the time. And that's what you need to do for someone like Ronaldo. That's it. Get Ronnie and Bruno off for Lindelof and Matic. West Ham have looked an unbelievable threat. Can't believe we still have forwards on, says Sean Miller. Sue, says Seizu. Well, the very important thing is that we get back into the game quickly when we've gone 1-0 down. It was an unlucky goal. I do think the midfielders have got to someone's got to have a word with them there. You know, there's 2 of them there. You can't not have somebody on the edge of the box in an attacking situation like that. But we're back in it, so we go again. Bruno Ronaldo once again going to save us a lot, says Ryan. Nice ball out wide to Wan-Bissaka, who, let's not forget, Wan-Bissaka's had a good game. Nearly scored himself just before that. See McTominay trying the early cross there. I don't mind if it doesn't work. You've got to try and whip those early crosses in. Mark, can you tweet Sue just to banter the Madrid pronunciation, please? I think the way you really do it is Sue, which is C, deep. Oh, Ronaldo, 4 in 3. 3 in 2 Premier League games. 4 in 3 Man United games. It's just a delightful cross by Bruno. I just hope that people realise Bruno's quality. Bruno! The quality of Bruno is elite. If you want to get any merch, we've got the Last Dance hoodies as well. Let me show you. Got these as well. Links in the video description. We do ship worldwide. I would put this on, but I'm actually quite hot. Mark, that's actually correct. Congrats, mate. I can do it. I can do the real one. See! I'm saying C, but I'm doing it deep. See! See! I just look at it. Yeah, even in my ear, they're telling me I got it right. I don't know whether to keep Sue, though. I feel like I'm cheating on Sue when I do it properly. Just to let you know, Mark, the actor from Only Fools and Horses, John Challis, has passed away after a 2-year battle with cancer. Loved his character in the show. Is that Boise? That's really sad. I'm a massive fan of Only Fools and Horses. So I think it is, yeah. Very sad. Another legend goes. Thanks, Gavin Blake. Karaoke time to park the bus. Jesse, get ready, says Alligator. And Nick P says, Mark, can you tweet Sue? Just about, yeah, I'm going to tweet Sue. I'll tweet Sue on the next game. McTominay. Where's he going? Oh, he did. Wow, it's a lovely cutback by McTominay. Better tempo from United here today. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We were very close to, I don't know what we were very close to. Oh, look. Viva Ronaldo. Ollie's looking concerned on the bench because he knows his time is up. He can go, says Stephen Lee. We're very close to 137,000. We're only a couple of hundred subscribers away. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the channel. We will be giving you the player ratings website link in the second half. You can mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll then go through that on the match reaction. We've then got the fan forum. We've then got the fan vlogs coming in from Adam and Levin is at the game today. And then 8 o'clock tonight, we've got the breakdown where we look at all the tactics from the day and what Solskjaer said, etc. So lots to get involved with on the channel. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But 5 minutes to go to half time. Quite an equal half. I've got to say, it's quite an equal half. I'd say United have just about edged it. Lovely takedown by Greenwood here. Bruno's got it back. Strong by Rice. Now Bowen. Good Ronaldo in defence here. Done well. And Luke Shaw wins the throw-in. We got one behind and play good football. We draw level and back to the same dross. Worrying pattern, says Julian Lee. Can you do your Ollie, says Tidley. And he plays on the left, he plays on the right, that boy Ronaldo, but Fred is still pants, says Stephen Atkinson. Brighton are beating Leicester, by the way. Morpay with a penalty. 40 minutes. Early crosses is the key for Ronaldo. He has the reflex or instinct of a cobra, says Mister. Well, I've spoken about it. Yeah, this is why it frustrates me when Luke Shaw and Wan-Bissaka don't put the cross in early. They've got to learn to do that. Cavani wants it early as well, though. Like, we should know this. It should be drilled into them. If you get the space and they're in the box, whip the cross in. Don't wait. But I think this is something they've got to learn because we play quite pragmatic football. Here's Greenwood. Slips it into Ronaldo. He'll hit that. Oh, Sue. You nearly got a shout out again. Lovely ball in by Greenwood from Ronaldo. I tell you what, the shots on target are going up a bit now. I think we've had about 4 or 5. It's a lovely ball by Greenwood. And Ronaldo with the shot. It's a good save, Fabianski. That is a good save. Lovely play by Greenwood. And Ronaldo, look at the accuracy on the angle of that shot as well. Can't do any better, really. Lovely. Right, we're a bit stretched here. Wan-Bissaka. Cresswell with the cross. Got a cross for Varane. It was a big chance for Vlasic. The shape of United's not bad here. It's just good play by West Ham, and De Gea would have been in trouble there if that had been on target. I tell you what, he knows that's close. It's a nice ball, and he's just. I tell you what, that could have been 1-1, 2-1. We've had 6. We've had 9 shots to their 6, and we've had 7 on target. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Viva Ronaldo! Viva Ronaldo! You do feel that there's a United goal coming. I've been impressed with Wan-Bissaka Greenwood, the cross. Oh, I tell you what, Ronaldo had those giraffe muscles ready then. But it was, you know, they are good at the back. United stand is a football education. If you know, you know. Love your show, Mark, says Kurt Hughes. Pogba stats on the screen there, actually. Pogba's been a bit quiet. I don't think he's having a bad game, but Greenwood, Bruno, definitely the more on, you know, I don't know what the word is. Definitely making more happen than Pogba at the moment, which is, I think, it's a good thing, because I think Pogba will come into the game. Here is Pogba, actually. Yes, look at this from Pogba, driving forward from the midfield. He heard me. Now Ronaldo. Switch it, Ronaldo. Look at the far side. Luke refuses the cross again. But this time Ronaldo wasn't in the box, to be fair. Ronaldo. Bruno. Shaw. Get in the box, Ronnie. Lovely ball by Bruno to Wan-Bissaka. Forward, Scott. Go forward. Oh, he's gone backwards. Get out of the way, Fred. Fuck off. Let Maguire have it. You're in the way. See, Maguire would have had that anyway, and you could have been moving forward, you twat. You've gone and got right in the path of that. See what happened there? Varane's going to give it to Maguire. Fred drops in the space, who then gives it to Maguire anyway, when Fred could have just moved out the way forward. Here's Ronaldo. Into Shaw. What's he going to do? Into Ronaldo. It's Greenwood. Come on, right before half-time. I think Fred does get in the way of people a lot, you know. Ideas for substitution at this point, says Luke. Fred for Matic. Pogba shoots wide. Yeah, Fred for Matic. But it's the mobility that's probably going to prevent that from happening. I just don't think Ollie trusts Matic anymore in relation to his fitness. Sancho's not needed. Greenwood making things happen, says Cristiano. Well, the evolution for me would be Paul Pogba dropping into the midfield. We've won a corner here. Cross comes in. Ronaldo. Harry. Bruno in the box. Looking to get a cross in. It's a good cross. And it's a corner. We'll have a corner, ref. Yeah, we will. We will. Van der Beek won't come on in this game. Got no chance. He'll play on Wednesday night in the Carabao. Which is exactly what his agent said he didn't want. 80 million for Rice. I didn't notice he was playing. Says Sean. Again, 3rd game in a row I've watched my stand play against United and I've not noticed Declan Rice. So you're right about that. I'm not saying he's having a bad game, but I certainly haven't noticed him. West Ham have won the 50-50 there with Varane. Watch out. Watch out. It's a nice ball. And Luke Shaw is on his own. We've got players back, surely. Wan-Bissaka does his job. 46. We're nearly at half-time here. Oh, you know what? I'll definitely take that. I'd rather be winning, but from being 1-0 down, I'll definitely take that. It's a nice touch there. Good play by West Ham. Just defend this out. Fred. Maguire. That's it, ref. Blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up. That's half-time. So Manchester United won, West Ham won at half-time. I mean, I don't want that to be full-time. I don't think a draw does as massive amounts of favours. I suppose actually fast forward to the 90th minute, and if that finishes a draw, what do you feel? You feel a little bit, I don't know. But look, what I want to say is that that's not bad from United. I'm sure we'll get the stats up in a minute, but the reality is that's not bad. We've had 7 shots on target in 45 minutes. That's what I want. And at times we've moved the ball quicker. It's not the perfect half in any sense of the word. I wouldn't even say it's massively progress, but it's glimpses of what we can do. We can move the ball quicker. And I think for me, Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka, whilst they've had good games, they need telling by the coaches that when you get the ball on the width and Ronaldo's in the box, don't hesitate, put the cross in the box, which is exactly what we've seen Bruno do 3 times in that first half. One of them led to a goal. He's one of the best strikers there's ever been in the game. Get that ball into that box quickly, and that's what got us the goal. So I think United have been okay. I think we've certainly been better than the Southampton and Wolves game. Forget young boys. I mean, look, that's the Champions League. It was a bloody mess. I'm more interested in the Premier League, and I look at the way we played against Southampton and Wolves, and that first half against a better side was better than Southampton and Wolves. So I'm encouraged. Let's go and do it again in the second half. And look, West Ham look a threat. They'd be more of a threat if they had Antonio, but they don't have Antonio. They've been a threat. The goal is somewhat fluky, I must admit. It's a shot that goes off Varane and nothing De Gea can do about it. I would say that the midfield positionally was nowhere to be seen. We're playing with 2 midfielders with Fred and McTominay, and one of them should be on the edge of the box for that sort of thing, but they've both been attracted to the ball. But ultimately, these things are going to happen, and we've got back to 1-1, and I think we've got to go and win this game now in the second half. And I think a lot of it depends on what Ollie does in the second half for subs. I'd like to see Pogba on the ball a bit more. I think Greenwood's been good. I think Bruno's been fantastic. Ronaldo is obviously going to do things. That's what he's there to do. I'd like to get Pogba on the ball a little bit more. I think he's been a little bit quiet. And obviously we know the damage that Paul Pogba can do. Fullbacks have been good. Varane's been fantastic. De Gea's not really had anything to do apart from good distribution again. Made a good save with his foot, actually, that could have found its way into the net. Maguire made one mistake. That was about it. So all in all, not a bad performance. I mean, I'm purposely avoiding the midfield because I think it's just a negative that we don't probably need to dwell on at half time. There has been some good passes. I mean, Fred has passed forward a couple of times, which is good. McTominay played a lovely ball into Ronaldo. Are they doing it enough? No. But are they doing it a little bit? Yes. And that's something to work with. Look, my honest answer is McTominay and Fred are the weakness in that very, very good side. But Ollie is persistent with it, and hopefully it can get better. West Ham overloading our fullbacks, and we're getting dragged to one side. Shape in midfield is not good enough, says Michael Malo. Thanks for the super chats. Let's have a look. Much better game after we conceded. Needed the kick up the backside. Usual second half United incoming, says Paul Holloway. We do seem to have a half time or a kick up the backside, don't we? It's a cracking game through and through, says Cam. And in reality, I think the score is a fair result so far. Just need to get on the front foot more with some attacking subs. So Cam's enjoying it. Decent play so far. We just need to be brave, take players on, and first-time crosses, says Paras. Yeah, them first-time crosses are really important when you've got a player like Cristiano Ronaldo, but also Cavani as well. How are we all slating Fred in the chat? He's had a good game so far, says Shatty. Mate, I don't really want to talk about Fred, I really don't, because what's happening with Fred now is there are these Fred cultists who will just say he's having a good game no matter what. And then there's people who don't like Fred who say he's having a bad game. And the reality is, if you think that Fred performance is a good performance, then your standards are nowhere near where they need to be. Is he playing dreadful? I wouldn't say so. Is he playing well? I wouldn't say so. I'd say he's doing okay by the standards of Fred. But let's not start turning young boys in today into good Fred performances, because they're going to bite you in the arse. If you think that is a good Manchester United midfield performance, then your standards are going to set you up for big failure this season. He's got to do a lot better than that. He's getting by, is what I would say. I wouldn't say he's having a good game. Bruno's having a good game. That's a good game. Somebody who's making things happen and doing well in their position. I think Fred and McTominay are doing okay at the moment. I'd like to see them do better, but I certainly don't think it's at the point to say, oh, they're playing well. But I'm not going to dwell on that, because I just think we're starting to get idiot infiltrated on this topic, which will just waste our time. Greenwood has been awesome, says Addy. I do think Mason Greenwood's played really, really well. I said this in the week that I expected Sancho to be on the bench. I would have played him off the left, but I expected him to be on the bench. But Mason Greenwood had to come back into the team today, and he did, and he's been very, very good. I agree with that. Steve Howard says, thank God we got Ronaldo because the polo style midfield is going to cost us points against the better sides. Hey, Mark, just watching the goal back here. Fred's been pulled across. McTominay's been pulled across. And that's where you need a midfielder. So the shot comes in, but we've just not got... Both midfielders have been dragged across. Look, they're both across. And that's why he gets the shot off. You need a midfield. One of your midfield two has got to stay more centrally in that situation. Hey, Mark, Fred just doesn't play the forward pass enough. You can see the players asking for the ball and he still won't pass, says Musty. We're honoured to see Ronaldo play for us again. Surreal, taking it in and enjoying Ronaldo. Hat-trick incoming, says JNA2. Thanks for the super chat, Paddy. I really like to see the tempo getting higher at the end of the first half, says Cheers. Look, when United play high tempo, I'll applaud it. You'll applaud it. That's just what we want to see. I think the reason our midfielders are always being grilled is because most of the time the game is won in midfield. You can easily hide in other positions, says Cam. Thanks very much for the super chat. And they've just shown the Ronaldo goal there, 35 minutes, perfection. And it does come from that moment of the fact that Bruno is just, he gets the ball out wide. He shouts for it. Fred passes it wide to him. And then look, Bruno's like, right, I'm going to get this cross in the box. That's all I'm going to do. And it's a brilliant, again, look, the assist from Bruno for the goal against Young Boys took 4 players out. He's done it again. He's just done it higher this time. He's took 4 players out. I don't think, again, Bruno deserves massive praise for that assist. It's magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And Kit Kat says De Gea is underrated. Again, I think De Gea has been fantastic. He made a very good save with his foot. A couple of times his distribution has been superb. It's something that people have always wrongly, I think, criticised him for. De Gea's had a good game. Varane's had a good game. Wan-Bissaka's had a good game. Luke Shaw's had a good game. There's a lot of people having a good game. I think 2 or 3 probably can go up a gear. I certainly think Pogba, we can get him on the ball more. I'm so confident when the ball goes to Mason Greenwood. Refreshing to watch his left foot. Pogba is a majority playing around 10 and Bruno is everywhere, says Ritvik. I think Bruno's been fantastic. In fact, I think Bruno's probably been our best player. I think they've done that as well. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're about 100 away from 137,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. In the second half, we will put up the link where you can vote for every player as a player rating. Every player marked out a 10, 6 being the average. Put a star next to your man of the match. And then when we do the match reaction, I'll give my player ratings. And when I click it, it'll aggregate all of yours. We've got the fan forum straight after that. We've got fan vlogs. Adam and Levin are at the game. And we've got the 8 o'clock breakdown, which I'll be doing as well. So lots to get involved in. But we've got to go and win this game in the second half now. I don't want to be sat there with a point. I think this game is a good game if we win. And we won here last season, so we've got to go and win there now. I sense we're the better team. I think everybody senses that. We've just got to get that tempo up and keep creating chances. What do you do when teams have 9 players defend and have just counterattacks? I feel this is what will happen to United a lot this season, says Faraz. You just got to work the ball forward. Make the ball work. That's what we've got to do. Patience sometimes, but try and keep playing the forward passes. Greenwood seems a bit frustrated at time for not getting the ball enough. He is hungry for a ball, guaranteed coming in the second half. Come on, United, says Laurent. Well, people worried about Greenwood, didn't they? Well, will Greenwood get the game time? He's got to get the game time at the moment. Vinay, Fred has improved today, but still not good enough. And McTominay has done okay at times, but I still think we need more quality in the midfield, says Vinay. What I would say about the midfielders, they've not done terribly. I wouldn't say they're having great games. I wouldn't say they're having bad games. They're having okay games. But what I would say is the goal was their fault. Like, you can't leave that midfield exposed like that at this level. He's got time to get a shot off. And yes, it's lucky, but there should be a midfielder patrolling that area. Let's face it, Bruno's better than Kevin De Bruyne since he came in. What do you say, says Vishal? I think Bruno's just an absolutely essential player to us, and I think he's one of the best players in Europe. Pogba dropping back to midfield, Sancho in for Fred, says Addy, and switch his name from Rice to Risotto and give him an Italian passport and he'd be worth only 20 million, says Alligator. I said it before the game. Look, I like Declan Rice, and I'd definitely take him over what we've got. But against United, he never really seems to put in a good performance. I don't know where this £100 million things come from, really. But I do like Rice, but he's always a bit invisible against us. Mark, I'm more convinced that Fred is a Brazilian than Ollie as a coach. Much love from Nashville, Tennessee, says Limania. And switch his name. We've done that one. But we have played some good stuff at times. That cross from Bruno was mint, says Vinay. We have. Look, think about the ball from Greenwood into Ronaldo and a brilliant shot and a brilliant save from Fabianski. Think about the ball from McTominay into Ronaldo where he just couldn't quite get the shot off, and then Wan-Bissaka went through 2 players and got the shot off. So we have had 7 genuine shots on target. So sometimes we're coming out of games and we've not had 3. So in 45 minutes, we've had 7 shots on target. And look, there has been time in that half where it's been a little bit, static and a little bit slow, but we still managed to have 7 shots on target. I can't complain about that. As Pogba isn't known for crossing and Fernandes is capable of those worldy early crosses, would you swap Pogba and Bruno's position, says Paul Holloway? No, and I really want Ollie to do well. I pray he finds a way to get the best of these incredible players, says Benjamin Stenning. I think we are set up this season to be very happy with most of our team. But we are going to struggle with the midfield. I think the midfield is always going to be the question mark. Fred just seems to panic when he gets the ball. Gave a few balls away in important positions. Ronaldo looking sharp. Foot speed is still unbelievable, says Gary Dowdle. And also, look, I said it a couple of times. I think Fred gets in the way sometimes. And it's very interesting that he did that interview yesterday morning talking about trying to learn the position. He does at times look like somebody who's trying to learn the position. And obviously we know he's somebody who's trying to learn the position. And I think we see that sometimes. He does get in the way of things and he does drop into situations that he probably shouldn't drop into. Why we spent 85 million if we don't intend to use him? Sancho. He's my problem, Mark. Here's my problem. Instead of shaping the team based on the talents we have, he shapes it around McFred. It's frustrating to watch, says Goj. Thanks for the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the $sign. And please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Well, it's 1-1 at half-time. Manchester United 1-1, as we know. I do think that in the second half, we've got to go and win this game. And I sense that we will go and win this game in the second half. I know some people are worried, but I do think that we will win this game. I think West Ham, whilst their endeavours are honest and true, I don't feel that they've got the quality in that final third to hurt us. And we need to, therefore, really push home the advantage in this second half. My tip, Sancho to come on for the winner, get a tenner on that, says Cam Wyatt. We've got so much quality on that bench. You've got Martial, you've got Sancho. You'd probably throw Lingard on at some point as well. But I think the second half substitutions are going to be really, really important. I mean, look at that. West Ham, 2 shots on target. United 7, 64% possession. 10 shots to their 6 in general. That's good. For an away team, that's good. I can't really knock that performance. It could be better, but I can't knock it in a negative sense. It's so much better than Young Boys against the decent West Ham side. So there are positives there, but look, results are what matter. We won here last year. We've got to go and win this game. And I do think as well that his substitutions are really important. Now, I'll say this early, and I might get proved wrong. I think that in a game like this, you're playing against the low block. Jadon Sancho is the sub. Anthony Martial is the sub. Jesse Lingard is not the sub. But will Ollie go for Jesse? Because that's what Ollie wants to do. We'll have to wait and see. As you can see in the top right-hand corner, we're very close to 137,000. So please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. But I agree with Rishab. Subs will be key today. They will be key today. Very, very key today. Can you call Derek Greenwood a prat? He's my dad, says Harry. Derek, apparently you're a prat. And in the second half, we will be doing the player ratings, which we'll go through. I don't know why they keep looking at Ronaldo's goal like it was offside. I can tell with my eyes, and I haven't even got my glasses on today, that he was not offside. So shut up and sit down. You fairy liquid drinking, bubble blowing prats. Mark, do you think Ollie has extra empathy for McFred as their bench players like he was, so he identifies with him, says Karaki? Well, he doesn't identify with Van der Beek, and he constantly sits with him on the bench. So, no, not at all. Maria says, is Manchester United going to win? I hope so, Maria. I really, really, really hope so. But as I said, we've got to keep playing dynamite football. Treat the ball like a stick of dynamite and move it fast. Simple as that. Anyway, second half. I'm feeling a bit of positivity here. I'm feeling we're going to win this game second half. I feel we're going to do it. What are you thinking second half? I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1 United. I think we'll get this done. Brighton are beating Leicester, I think, 1-0 as well. No. Viva Ronaldo! Viva Ronaldo! Running down the wing, hear United sing. Viva Ronaldo! Sue! Come on, Cristiano. 3 goals in 2 Premier League games. 4 goals in 3 Manchester United games. Might feel him walking down like looks like he's just had a big shit, doesn't he? He was like, here comes West Ham. There's them bubble things again. Always think of Michael Jackson when I say bubbles. That's what his pet was called, isn't it? Bubbles. And yet he was a Fulham fan. You know, he's missed the trick there. He goes and has a statue outside Fulham. You'd think he would have bloody had a statue outside West Ham. Bubbles, but no. All that prat used to be on Big Brother. Bubble. Anyway, we're just about to kick off the second half. The bubbles are there. Michael Atkinson, the ref, you know, it's not done all right. It's not too bad. And here we go. Second half kicks off. Not a popular opinion, but I would put Lingard on just to keep an eye on Kufel getting forward. He puts in dangerous crosses. I actually have got Kufel, Bradley, in my fantasy Premier League team. But I don't think he got the assist anyway. Ben Rama with the goal, and the assist was Bowen. No assist on the... I'll tell you what, that's a bit unlucky. Fancy Premier League not getting Bruno as the assist. They've not given it to him. It's Ronaldo's goal, obviously, but Bruno didn't get an assist. If you're interested in Fancy Premier League. Anyway, second half has kicked off here. We've got to go and win this game now. Let's go win it. Let's go Manchester United. Come on, I'm feeling, you know, for the first time in a long time, I'm feeling a bit excited about United. I think that 7 shots on target, it's like having 7 pints. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, he's bloody missed it. Ronaldo. Send him back to Juventus. Timo Ronaldo. What a miss. I thought it was Bruno. I was going to say, oh, Bruno, but Ronaldo. It would have been an assist for Bruno as well. It's a mistake by West Ham. He's got to score. It's a great save by Fabianski, but he's got to score. Got to score. He knows. He knows. But that's a good start for the half. Anyway, it's a corner. Back post. Ronaldo. Techers. I tell you what, that's another shot on target, though. That's 8. We could hit 10. McTominay puts it out for a corner. Should have put that out for a throw. We could have 10 shots on target today. When was the last time we had 10 shots on target? Must have been Leeds. Must have been Leeds. Fred's getting a bit of shit. I didn't see it. I was too busy getting excited about Ronaldo's miss. Corner to West Ham. Attack it! Yes, Maguire. Well done. What a takedown by Bowen there. Lovely bit of skill. Fred makes the tackle. Oh, fucking hell, Fred. Shots, easy save by De Gea. I don't know what's happened to Fred's tackling. You know, he used to be quite good at it. He just seems to get knocked off the ball and bypassed way too much, which is worrying because that's actually one bit of his game that is a strength. Lovely ball by Wan-Bissaka, switches it wide. Oh, Wan-Bissaka with the skills and wins the foul. He's having a good game, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, today. I won't hear any slander. Fred wide left. Quicker, quicker. That's it. See, McTominay's taking 2 touches today. Oh, he's gone and took 4 now. It's a nice ball, though, to Bruno. No, it's not. Pogba's going to lose this. Go on, Scott. It's there to be won, this game. Come on. Good interception, Greenwood. Wide to Bruno. Go wide to Bruno. Go wide to Bruno. Go wide to Bruno. Oh, Fred again. That's a 50-50. Fred should win that. Well done, Wan-Bissaka. Brilliant. He's having a great game today, Wan-Bissaka. Don't sleep on it. Right, here we go. Luke Shaw. Whip it, Luke. See, he's gone for the early cross there. Wins a corner. Good. A little bit worried about Fred there. Forget his passing. He's losing a lot of 50-50s. And that, to me, is one of his strengths. Oh, Maguire again. 50p head. Wins the header. I'd say world class at winning headers, but unfortunately, his direction is a bit off. It's like a broken sat-nav. I've had it with Fred, always giving the ball away, says Daniel Gibson. I haven't really noticed him giving the ball away. 2-0 to Brighton. I'll tell you what, they're having a cracking season, Brighton. Leicester, not so much. Top four is going to be so easy this year, isn't it? Like, everybody is shit outside the top four. Well, that very, 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 very inconsistent anyway. Bowen. Back heel. I mean, West Ham are looking decent on the break, is what I would say. That, you know, they're a decent team, West Ham. They're a decent team. You know, I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not convinced by Pogba's performance here today. I don't know what anyone thinks. Talking about substitutions, massive fan of Paul Pogba, but I just feel we're not getting him into the game today. If you're thinking about taking somebody off, we've got so many good attackers. I don't think it should be Mason. Although, here we go, Pogba. Come on, Paul. Wait for sure. Wait for sure. Bruno. Oh, I tell you what. Interchangeability between Pogba and Bruno there was fantastic, but Pogba's shot is over the bar. I'd like to see Sancho on, Nick. Yeah, I do. I'd like to see a bit of Jadon in a game like this. I think Greenwood or Pogba for Sancho, but I'd take Pogba on this performance. Tim, thank you very much for the super chat. 2-0 to Brighton. It's Danny Welbeck. And it's a corner to United here. West Ham making mistakes. Cresswell's been a bit shit today. Why is Carrick giving touchline instructions? Another reason Ollie needs to go. He's clueless, says Stephen. I don't really care if it's Carrick, as long as it's somebody. You know. Remember last season we beat West Ham? Last season we beat Southampton. We didn't beat them this year. We've got to win this today. I'm looking forward to doing the player ratings, and I don't even know the result. We've had 9 shots on target. We've nearly got 10. He's given a goal kick. That looked like a corner, ref. Fred's biggest problem is, apart from him being all-round awful, his decision-making is bad. He does the wrong thing every time, says Sean Turner. I like that from Sean Turner. Fred's biggest problem, apart from being awful all round. Well, that doesn't give a lot of room for error, Sean. You know, his biggest problem, apart from being shit, is he's also double shit. But no, I mean, look, I want a better player in that midfield than Fred. I do. But I don't feel that McTominay's been amazing. He's just made less mistakes. And I think that's the fair thing to say, isn't it? Well done, David De Gea again. Quick off his line. You can't put a price on that from De Gea this year. If he doesn't come, like a couple of years ago, he might not have come for that. That's a problem for the centre-back. But De Gea, quick off his line again. Lovely ball by Bruno. It's a foul by McTominay. What needs to happen with Fred or McTominay is one of them needs to improve. And, because I think both of them are very similar players, not in their style of play, but in relation to what they offer to the team. Are they Man United first team players, or are they Man United bench players? And if they're bench players, we're picking two of them. One of them needs to be cut. Well, ideally both of them, but we're not going to get that lucky. But one of them needs to progress to being a first teamer, because at the moment it feels like we're playing two bench players in the team, and that's not going to be enough over a season, is it? So, and it does look to me like McTominay's the more likely to be that player. But can you say happy birthday to Mr. Folliard? Says vlog success. And what awful analyst, says Bradley. Go and start your own channel, Bradley. No one will watch, but thank you very much. And Fred is the slowest man on the pitch. Slow to reach the man he tries to mark and lose out most of the tackles, says Chris. And Jaden says McTominay's been good today. I disagree, Jaden. I think this is about standards, mate. I don't think McTominay's been good today. I think he's been okay. And I think okay is fine. I think that Pogba's been okay today, and that's fine. But I think when people start saying people have been good, I think Bruno's been good. Do you think McTominay's been as good as Bruno? I don't. And this is where people get wrong. That it's either good or bad, and actually the world operates in between that. And I think McTominay's been okay today. I think Fred's been below par again. But I don't think to say they've been good, it's 1-1 against West Ham. Like, there can't be that many players playing good for United because it's still 1-1. And people just want to higher the expectations. That's why you have 6 out of 10 in the player ratings. It's an average performance. Average is fine. Average literally means fine. It's an okay performance. It's not dreadful. It's not terrible. 7 becomes good. If we've got loads of good players on the pitch, why is it 1-1? We can't all be good. I think Wan-Bissaka's been good. I think Greenwood's been good. I think Bruno's been good. But everybody can't be good because it's still 1-1. But not everybody, hardly anybody's been bad. So it's just one of those performances at the moment where there's been a few good players and a few okay performances. And I don't think we need to start stretching it into, lowering the standards. Oh, everybody's been good. Well, why is it 1-1? Still half an hour to go, though. There's the opportunity for somebody to really grab this game. Switch it, Fred. Luke Shaw. Look at him. Lingard's going to come on. Ronaldo song, living rent-free in my head, Mark, says Andreas. West Ham on the attack. Good block by Maguire. It's Pogba. Oh, he's not having the best of games, Paul Pogba. Just wonder whether Ollie's got the... It's a big test for Ollie because I think he'll take Greenwood off. Zane's laughing about something. I don't know what. Andrew McTominay, Scott Mc, too many touches and pivots. I think he's done okay today, to be fair. Yeah, it's a big test for Ollie now because I think he'll take Greenwood off and keep Pogba on, but that's because Pogba is Pogba. I actually think I'm leaning to, I don't know what anyone else thinks, I'm leaning towards taking Pogba off and keeping Greenwood on, but we'll see. World class from top class defence, championship midfield, Joffa. Could be Lingard for Pogba. Well, that'd be very surprising to me that Jesse Lingard is getting on the pitch before Jadon Sancho, we spent £74 million on, but what a ball by Bruno that is. If Ronaldo, it was a great ball as well, and Ronaldo finds Pogba. Get Van der Beek on. No chance. Don't even mention that name on this channel anymore. He's finished. You'll see him on Wednesday night in the Carabao Cup. And then he'll disappear like a turtle does over the autumn and hibernate until the first round of the FA Cup. Bruno getting a bit frustrated here. Don't want to see any of that, Bruno. That's not leadership. I think Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. Offside. Well, remember, it should be 2-1. Ronaldo had a great chance at the start of this half. Tempo's disappeared a little bit, hasn't it? Here we go. First, he'll put this in quick. Oh, it's a great cross by Bruno again. It's just behind. I've got to say, West Ham have defended well. Another corner for United. I'd like to see us get on the end of one of these. I think we've had enough. I think we've had enough corners now that I would expect us to have had a really good chance from a corner. I mean, how many corners have we had? This is number 7, I think. No, they've won it again. I mean, I've got to say, though, West Ham defensively are good. Good tackle there by Mason Greenwood, actually. If you hadn't have won that, nice ball by Luke Shaw. Ronaldo, get on your toes. Bruno's going to put the cross in. Another corner. Yeah, corner number 8. Cavani's not on the bench today, Diesel, no. You think Ollie can reach the level of Sir Alex Ferguson? United should be having that success. If not, then how long can you see Ollie, says Varron? We just can't allow this game to drift. There's half an hour. There's plenty of time to win this game. And we've already had the chance to win it with Ronaldo. We've got to go and get it again. I'd take Ronaldo off and put Fred up front, says Christian. There he is talking to Varane, look. The old Madrid connection. It's going to go out, isn't it? Wins the throw in, Bruno. Corners haven't been great today, Jam. Pogba, McTominay. Good tackle. I thought McTominay was going to get a shot off there. Just a little bit worried about West Ham on the break. They've been very progressive on the break, and they are here again. Without Antonio as well. McTominay clears it. Goes wide. Wan-Bissaka. And McTominay's down. I think he's caught the ball in the face. Yeah, I think he smacked him in the face. 2-1 in the Leicester game. Vardy's got a goal back. Yeah. Oof. Does well to spin and clear it, to be honest. That's like a punch to the face for McTominay. Smacked him right in the face. Scooby-Doo. He is Scottish, but he doesn't speak Scottish. That's the joke, really. Shouldn't Ollie be playing Delo instead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka? Aaron Wan-Bissaka can't cross for his life, says David Dean. Multiple touches on the wing just to pass. But I think Wan-Bissaka's played well, David. I mean, thanks for the super chat, but I've said this before. I'm sensing that Wan-Bissaka is becoming an illogical figure for criticism, and I actually think he's played very well today. So. Got to get the win here. Ollie is a mid-table manager with elite level players. We need to bring in Conte or Zidane, says Paul Conley. Mark, Fred is a donkey, says Super Dan. Please call Alex, Alfie, and Louis Prats. Lovely play. I think Bruno's played very well today as well. Mason needed to give that to Bruno there. I can see. I think Mason's going to be coming off. See, Wan-Bissaka again, very strong on the ball. Get that tempo going. Treat the ball like dynamite. Move it, move it, move it. Look at Fred. Move it. Fucking hell, Fred. That's too long. Move the ball. Lovely running by Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood's in the box. Bruno. West Ham clear it. Well up, Wan-Bissaka. Declan Rice. Well in by Varane. Quality from Varane there. Bowen couldn't hold it up. Here's Ronaldo. Bruno. Wide. Oh, Ronaldo's gone too far there. Well played, Fred. Go on. Bruno. Nice ball. Oh, no, he's not good enough. Fred won a tackle there. Well done. It's not 2-1. It's 2-1 in the Leicester game. It's not 2-1 in this game. Thanks, JT. And could you say hi to my friend Zob, says Jack. Boom, 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 boom. "70 minutes, Ollie subbed coming up, I guess, as Alpha Gaming. West Ham on the attack. Varane's there. Bloody hell. It's dropping to somebody again. Varane's there quick. He's given the free kick on Pogba. I don't actually think it was a foul. I think it's the way it's just gone through. Zuma. Well, it probably is a foul, actually. It looks a little bit late by Pogba. It didn't look that bad at first, but not so sure. Not so sure. Running down the ring, United sing, Viva Ronaldo. Well, we do it. What we got? Alpha Gaming, thanks for the super chat. I'm actually surprised how good Fred has been, Mark, says Andres. Don't know what game you've been watching, but well done. I don't think players realising just how high Ronaldo can jump, says IQ, and letting his game this straight. We're letting the game drift a bit, says Andrew Bryan. Needs to make changes. Matic and Sancho need to come on to refresh. This is where big squad needs to be utilised. Be making a sub here. Gotta make a sub here. It's a shame, really. I enjoyed the first half, but I feel that the second half we've drifted a little bit. 7 shots on target in the first half, and we're at what we at now? 8. So it just shows you the second half has just gone a little bit stale. Cross comes in. Back post for West Ham. I think we're at that point in the game where you would definitely say that it's a foul. It's a foul. Martin Atkinson's giving it. Put Greenwood up front and Ronaldo to the left. Bring on Donny for Fred. Tell you what, West Ham wants a penalty here, and it would have been a penalty on Soucek if it had been onside. I was a little bit worried about that, but there was an offside, thank God. It was a slipped pass through, and it would have been a penalty, but they were offside from the pass. So got away with it a little bit, although we didn't because he was offside, so don't worry about it too much. I haven't seen any substitutions at all yet. Southgate is Ollie's mentor, says Kadiki. It's drifting, isn't it? It is drifting. We need to You know, the thing I would say here is, it's Lingard. Lingard. I hope it's right. Lingard and Sancho. Well, at least it's Sancho. I agree with the Sancho sub. We should be winning games like this to compete for the title. Watch how Ollie will park the bus and make last-minute subs, says Ebbs Brown. Well, he's not going to do that. Pick Greenwood up front and Ronaldo to the left. Bring on Donny for Fred, says David. Well, no, Donny's got no chance. I think the Donny chat is dead. You know, he's never going to use Donny van der Beek, is he? I'll be interested to see who's going to bring off here. For me, it should be Pogba and Greenwood for Lingard and Sancho. Don't feel that Pogba's had the game he can have, and whilst he's an amazing talent, Pogba, and you know it's a bit like Ronaldo in some ways. Do you take that talent off? I think that Pogba's been a bit quiet today. It's not quite been at the races. By the way, by Wan-Bissaka. I think we defended well today. You know, I think West Ham have defended well as well. Watch out, West Ham are in here. They've got a chance to put a cross in. Get rid of it, Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo back in his own penalty box here. Rinse and repeat FC. Ollie doing his usual rubbish. Let's hope some vibes and moments appear again, says Brad Lewis. Good play by Varane again. And I think there's an injury here now to Varane. He's all right. No, he's not all right. Played very well, Varane, for me today. I think Varane and Wan-Bissaka on that right-hand side have been very good. It's quite refreshing, actually, because we're so used to Maguire and Shaw being the players that make the difference on that in the defence. And actually, I think Varane and Wan-Bissaka have been very good today. So Greenwood comes off for Sancho and Pogba for Lingard. I think that's the right substitutions, really. It's just not been quite at the races. A few people talking about Martial. I said this last night. I mean, he's another one. He's finished at United. He's been at... he's played for France in the international break. He's been absolutely fantastic. And now Deschamps won't be able to pick him in the next one because he can't get any minutes for United. What's Jesse Lingard going to do against the low block, says Ahmed? Well, I agree with that. Sancho's gone to the left and Jesse's gone to the right. I do agree with that, but he nearly gets in there. Lingard at the moment is just finding pockets of space and scoring goals, and we need a goal. So you've got to mix things up, haven't you? I think the subs are right. I do. I think Greenwood was starting to tire. I think Pogba just didn't have his game. Would I have made a different substitution? Yeah, but look, at least he's made the substitutions. When you see Bruno, Greenwood, Ronaldo, and making better tackles than Fred, it says it all, says Naveen. It's Declan Rice driving forward. Wan-Bissaka's done well. Oh, I've lost him. mean, at the moment, West Ham are actually having more than... I mean, what's Ronaldo doing this deep? I just don't know what Ronaldo's doing that deep. Seems to be... Here we go. Here we go. Jesse, wait. Oh, no. Bruno's had to hit that too early. We wanted Ronaldo on the break there, and Ronaldo's too deep, and it's Bruno and Jesse, and neither of them are quick enough there. Once Ronaldo's coming too deep. Want Ronaldo up front there in that situation. The break's on, and the pace is in the deep. $74 minutes. Only had 2 shots on target this second half. A drop off from the first half. I'm a bit worried about West Ham. I think West Ham are getting more near our goal in the last 10 minutes than we've got in close to their goals. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that. Right. Player ratings is open on the website, by the way. I've just dropped the link in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Cross comes in again. Wan-Bissaka, I think Wan-Bissaka and Varane have played very well today. I'll keep saying it because I think it's true. But West Ham just getting a little bit of momentum here. I don't know whether United are tiring. I don't know what thoughts are on that. Can respect West Ham a bit more for the applause as Jesse came on. He's an easy target to banter, but they still took the high road, says Joel. If that was Fred who had the shot that Bruno just had, you would slate him, says Harry O'Kane. What are you talking about, Harry? Stop being an idiot. I miss Rashford, says Red Harlow. That break is also where we miss Rashi, as I know it is, DJ. It is, you're right. I mean, if the game stretches, Lingard's a good player to have. Spin into space, we know that. Just whether it will stretch or not. Here's Luke Shaw. Goes wide. Ronaldo. Penalty! Oh, it's a penalty! It's a bloody stone wall, you dickhead! You need to get some eyes! Specsavers twat! You are a dickhead, Martin Atkinson. You are an idiot to your profession. I can see it from here. It's a stone wall. He's not going to give it. He's not going to give it. It's a stone wall penalty. You can see the connection. It's a penalty. Bloody hell. It's a clear penalty, that is. Absolute twat of a ref. Ref is a complete idiot. Complete cheat. It's a stonewall pen. I'm sorry. It won't get overturned because they'll say it's not a clear. It's a stonewall pen. He sticks his fucking leg out. How can it not be a penalty? That is a disgrace. Absolute joke. It's such a penalty. It's a stonewall penalty. And he's fucking played on. You useless tosser. I'm fed up of this nonsense. Bloody nonsense. The reason VAR won't help us is because it's got to be a clear and obvious error. And they'll say it's not a clear and obvious error. They'll stick with the referee. They never overturn the referee. Ref is a prat. Good defending by Zuma again. Oh, Fred. Soft foul rule, not a pen by the rules, says 58 go. You're an Arsenal fan, mate. I'm not listening to you. Not listening to anybody saying never a pen or this, that, and the other, because you're not a Manchester United fan. So I'm not getting into a debate. It's a United fan channel. It's a penalty. And I'll tell you why it is a penalty. Because if you're a Liverpool fan and it was Salah, you'd say it was a penalty. If you're an Arsenal fan and it was Aubameyang, you'd say it's a penalty. So I'm not getting into a debate about it never being a penalty or anything like that, because I know for a fact if it was your team, you'd be screaming a penalty. There's no debate to be had. It's a shocking decision. Ronaldo's gone past him. He's stuck his foot out. He's not got the ball. He's blocked the player off. It's a foul. It's not a soft penalty. Ronaldo cannot stay on his feet. It's a penalty. He's gone to tackle him. He's missed the ball. Ronaldo skinned him and he's fouled him. How is that not a penalty? It's a penalty. That's end of conversation. There's no contact with the ball. There's no a genuine attempt to nearly get the ball. He's took the player out in the box. It's a penalty. If that happens on the halfway line, we've just seen Paul Pogba concede a free kick against Zuma for the same thing. So it's a penalty. It's as simple as that. I'm not listening to bloody stupid idiot biased rivals trying to laugh at a situation that if it was their team, they'd say it's a pen. So you can say never a pen all you like. I'm not going to read it. It's a penalty and we've been robbed. 10 minutes to go. If you want to do your player ratings, by the way, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. It's drifting towards what I predicted in the preview. Michael says, I'm not a Man United fan. It's a penalty all day long. Insanity. It's clear and obvious. Ref should have taken another look. Well, VAR is shit. We've already seen this weekend how crap it is. West Ham have got a corner here. I don't understand VAR anymore. Well, I do understand it. It's just run by dickheads. I mean, you know, Kyle Walker concedes a penalty. Well, actually, I must admit, it's not a penalty, is it? Because if you look at what Kyle Walker did yesterday, if you foul someone in the box, it's not a penalty anymore. So actually, I'm sorry, you're right. It's not a penalty because look at Kyle Walker yesterday. Same thing. If you foul someone in the box now, it's not a penalty. So you've got to look at what happened with Kyle Walker yesterday, to be fair. Great header by Harry Maguire there. 10 minutes to go. Make sure you subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. The match reaction is going to be very interesting because a draw is I call them a dross, really. It's not a loss and it's not the win we need. It's a hard one. It's a really hard one to sort of... it's a hard game to get your head around this, really. I mean... I think there's been some good performances, Bruno, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. But second half, we've just not done enough. But if you get the penalty, you probably win the game. Pogba on Zuma was way less than what happened to Ronaldo in the boxes, Mario. Yeah, but this has always been the way. If it's outside the box, they'll give anything. What does Fred have that Donny doesn't? Seriously, Skirchin. Brace yourself. We'll bounce back. Social media posts incoming, says Adaraj. I'm not a man. Yeah, we've done that one. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. If you want to do it through that $, you can do. I actually think the subs have made us worse so far. I mean, I was trying to say this before. I think something happened and I didn't get to say it. What I would say about this United performance is if you're struggling to understand the result or the performance, I suppose I would say, imagine if you took Fred out that team and you put Kimmich in it. I think that's what's wrong with this team. I just think we lack quality in the midfield. I'm not saying McTominay and Fred have been dreadful today, but are they the level we need? And ultimately, I think, you know, that's been the leveler so far. I don't know the rules, but can Ollie ask after the game why Pogba was a foul and that wasn't? No, it's over, Michael Fetty. Once it's gone, it's gone. You know, they're protected species, aren't they? Michael Attenborough does their bloody commentating because their referees are protected. You're not allowed to do anything. Stevie Wonder can see Donny should be ahead of McFred. Pogba poor again for me. Still got 10 minutes to win this. You do a great job. Love the channel, says James McIntyre. mate. Lingard with the cross. Ronaldo wants a penalty that time. Don't think he's going to get that one. No, he won't get that one. I don't personally think that one was a penalty, to be fair. 5 minutes to go. It has drifted though, hasn't it? He made the subs, but what were the instructions? Because Sancho and Jesse have both gone to the left, says Sean Turner. Well, everyone's the subs to me have just been chaotic. They just haven't made sense. Positioning, like you say. They've certainly not come on like for like. Aman, thank you very much for the super chat. How many times did Fred give the ball away? He does it so often, your brain just glosses over it, says Cannon. Sean Turner's right about the subs. I think they have been a bit chaotic today. I thought they were the right subs, but we seem to have, you know, Greenwood is, I think Lingard's meant to be on the right and Sancho's meant to be on the left, but Lingard just keeps wandering into the number 10 position. Look at him. He's doing it all the time. Lingard's running into Bruno's space. Keep the width, Jesse, which is not, he doesn't want to do. Look at him. That's not what Greenwood was doing. He's trying to play as a 10 when we've already got a 10. Keep the width. That's a good cross. Where's Ronaldo? He's on the edge of the box. They need to keep the shape. Sancho needs to stay to the left. Lingard needs to stay to the right. Everyone's moving around all over the bloody place. Well, this could be another game that we've drawn that last year we won, like Southampton at the moment. I don't care if it's harsh on West Ham. I want to win. I think McTominay's tired as well. He's disappeared in the last half an hour. I haven't noticed McTominay at all in the last half an hour, actually. I don't know whether anyone else agrees with that. I mean, he's only just come back from injury. Here we go. Matic for 3 minutes. And he's taking Fred off. I mean, fucking hell. Matic for 3 minutes. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I do not get that. It's an odd one. But if it wins us the game, it wins us the game. Jack Nottridge, thanks for joining the members club. Come on, moment. I mean, there'll be a lot of people saying, I don't want that moment of individual brilliance. We can't keep getting by on that. But of course I want that. I want Manchester United to win. Like, I think, there we go. Jesse. Oh, what a goal by Jesse Lingard. That's magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Against Manchester City, not Manchester City, against West Ham. Lingard's won it. Well, I'll tell you what, I've got to say, that is magnificent from Jesse Lingard. He's absolutely bend it in the top corner from nowhere. And Manchester United get the win. And I've got to say, big shout out to Lingard. Big shout out to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because that is inspired. That's an inspired substitution by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And it's an inspiring finish from Jesse Lingard when we absolutely needed it. They've stood off him a little bit in the box, but the finish is fantastic. It's a lovely little pass into him. He's found the space, and then bow! It's a great goal. Absolutely binned it. Top bins. It's a brilliant finish. It's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely magnificent. That is absolutely magnificent from Jesse Lingard to win it like that. And I tell you what, you've got to say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got that 100% correct. 100% correct. If the substitute comes on and wins the game, they've got it right, and he's got it right. Absolutely magnificent. And that is 3 massive points for Manchester United. And it just felt like that game had to have that. Because if it had gone 1-1, it would have been so difficult to sit there after the game and go, well, it's not terrible, but I wish we'd won it. We should have won it. And I think that result against a very, very, very well organised and hard-working West Ham side, great tackle by McTominay there, against a very hard-working West Ham side that's been very organised, it's just that little bit that you need to get in a game like this. And it's that quality that we've got there from Lingard off the bench. Magnificent. Magnificent. I'm just so pleased. Ollie did get it right. And Ronaldo won't get a penalty there. He's been working hard for a penalty, Ronaldo. He's not going to get one. I think he thinks this is a penalty, but he definitely thinks it's a penalty. I don't know. Let's have a look. Ronaldo into the box. Skips past Zuma. It is a penalty again. It's a stone wall again. He doesn't get the ball. Fucking hell. I mean, Jesus Christ, is this ref? Get Martin Atkinson. Seriously needs to go to Specsavers. Again, there's no tackle on the ball. There's no contact with the ball. It's a reckless tackle, and he takes him out. I'm just stunned at this stage. Don't think it's going to matter, but we should have had a bloody penalty twice. Matic got the assist, by the way. That just reminds me, I did a tweet that I was going to work brilliant. What's going on now? Oh, if he gives a penalty for this, I'm going to shit my life. I'm telling you now, if he gives a penalty for this, fuck my life. If he gives a penalty for this, I'm out. I'm out. If he gives a penalty for that, I'm going to lose it. Luke Shaw handball. But it's the 2 he hasn't given to us. If he goes and gives them a bloody penalty and the 2 he's not given to us. Oh, it's fucking over. It's fucking over. He's going to give it. What a tosser. What a fucking idiot. This tosser. I can't stand Martin Atkinson. I've never liked him. As a referee, he's a bloody idiot. He's Michael Carrick, Stamford Bridge, 10 years ago. Fucking did the same thing. He's a dickhead. He's an absolute dickhead. He's not given 2 penalties to Manchester United, and he's giving them that. Oh, I don't believe it. 2 penalties refused for us. He gives them that. Disgrace. Disgrace, Premier League. Disgrace. Absolute disgrace here. Disgraceful. 2 penalties Ronaldo should have had. 2 fucking penalties. And what happens? He goes and gives one. I mean, look, to be honest, I'm not arguing it. It probably is a penalty by Luke Shaw, but it's the 2 we didn't get. It's the cheek of it. I'm not saying it's not a penalty. I'm saying we should have had 2 ourselves. They brought Mark Noble on for the bloody penalty. It's the last kick of the fucking game. Oh, the match reaction is going to be great fun. Join me for that as I lose my shit. I don't believe this. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. It is a penalty. I agree it's a penalty, but it's the 2 we didn't get. That's what I'm saying. It's Martin Atkinson. I don't even care. You can go and get a pint of fairy liquid and blow your bubbles. I'm not bothered. It's Martin Atkinson. He's absolutely done us over here. Noble. Yes! Get in! Come on then! Come on then! David De Gea, number 1! Number 1! Number 1! Number 1! Come on! Come on! Man of the match! Man of the match! Get in! David De Gea, if you've always been with... Sit down, Samuel Luckhurst! Sit down, you haters! David De Gea is here, and he's made the save. Get in! Come on! Come on! Get in the bin! Put your pints of fairy liquid down. It's a great save as well. Get in! And he's won it! It's over! David De Gea! David De Gea! David De Gea! Get in! De Gea, my keeper. Love it. Don't matter. Oh, what a game. Lingard with the winner. I didn't think anything was going to top that. But De Gea wins it in the end. And Martin Atkinson's in the centre circle crying. That wasn't what my bet said. Fucking get in, you cheats. I love it when cheats don't win. Martin Atkinson in the bin. West Ham, unlucky, you played quite well. Mark Noble came on to get them a point. Justice was served. Justice was served. David De Gea, you can clip that. You can clip that. Positivity. My keeper. Don't ever question that goalkeeper again. He has been elite this season. Absolutely elite this season. How many points has David De Gea won us now? I'm counting. Wolves. He got us 3 points against Wolves. Definitely saved us 2 points against Southampton. And then wins us another 2 points at the end. I tell you what, I'm smoking a victory because I said Wan-Bissaka's going to have a big season. And I said David De Gea should be our number 1. And I tell you what, that tastes like a win. That's absolutely brilliant. Ooh, get in. Right, okay. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Star for your man of the match. We're going to be on the match reaction in 2 minutes' time. I feel like the Incredible Hulk. I'll see you on the match reaction in a minute. It will push you over there into the chat anyway.